Right, now the recording's on. Hello, YouTube. You've not missed too much. I'm a bit of a klutz sometimes. You missed, like, a couple lines of dialogue. I got a bit distracted because we were talking about my new audio setup today. But we're still pretty much where we left off last time. We're just in the testimony rather than before it started. It's fine. It's fine. Everyone in chat's saying, hello, YouTube. Yes, hello to my between 3 and 7 average viewers on YouTube. Well, it's more for archiving purposes than anything, so a little snafu like this isn't that terrible. It makes me seem more human despite being a giant lizard woman. Anyway, right. Alright, they're saying there's no chance of a mistake in the report. Been dealing with the dead longer than you've been alive. Me writing something wrong, but the change outfit... Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, I got so focused with setting up the audio that I forget to reset the redemptions. There you go. Well, that's 500 cheese you're not getting back. You could have just said so. Again, I say this every time, but I guess you just have too much cheese. You do that too? You don't do 2 characters on your stream where you have to set the redemptions like every week. Twice. It's funnier it's funnier to tease me about it. Alright. What the heck do you think I'd stand to gain by Doctor in a file? And that's all she has to say. Okay, well, that's a nothing statement. No way there's a mistake. Press.
Hold it!
Hi, introvert. How you doing? Never. You're saying that Dr. Hertz is infallible?
She has to be. A doctor can't afford to make mistakes. Even a veteran like Grandma would be out of a job if she messed up even once. So there's no way she, of all people, would... I got a whole hospital relying on me. Might be you can bungle your work and survive, mister, but I can't.
Hold it!
The victim appears to have put this raincoat on after sustaining the head injury. And yet, there was not a single drop of her blood in the chest area of the raincoat. Therefore, she must have been hit in the head before she was stabbed in the chest, making it pre-mortem.
Oh, that's... Ow! I don't need you to teach me how to suck eggs, young man. My danged report already says what you just said, don't it?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Your report states that the head injury appears to have been sustained post-mortem, which is the exact opposite of what I just said. She got it right. Someone else doctored it.
Oh, sure. I diligently dictated that report to Florence here, and she wrote it all down just like I said it. If something happened to it after that, weren't nothing to do with me.
You dictated it. If you could please tell me more.
I diligently dictated that report to Florence. Anything after that weren't nothing to do with me.
Does it say it was dictated or not? Signed, Hilda Hertz. Is that not your signature then? I think we got a little old contradiction on our hands here now. Objection!
Objection!
Dr. Hertz, I'd like you to take a look at the report for yourself.
Oh, I'll read it to... Ow! This ain't what I said. This ain't what I said at all.
What? What do you mean exactly?
I don't know. But I can't say that. Miss Needler, If you are attempting to bury Dr. Hertz's truth, I will gladly hear your confession myself on behalf of the Goddess of Justice.
Dr. Hertz seems to be telling Judge Gavelle something in private.
What? I see. Very well. Allow me to relay to everyone what you have just told me. Ain't no doubt about what I said. I dictated my findings to Florence just like I told you I did. The fuddle-headed young thing must have wrote it down wrong or something. Wow, that was a great impression.
I didn't realize you're doing an impression, but all right. Yes, but was it really necessary? So in summary, there's an error in the report. And it was all because of you, Nurse Needler.
Yeah. The true facts have now been shown to be that the head injury occurred prior to the chest wound. The question now, Miss Needler, is why did you introduce such an error?
Just a minute, Verity. You make it sound as if the poor girl did it deliberately. Whereas it seems to me she just made a little mistake. Pre-mortem, post-mortem. Practically the same words, don't you think?
Except they mean two completely opposite things. This was deliberate, no doubt about it.
But why would she want to change it? Exactly, thanks, ow! You won't get away that easy. Explain yourself, young lady. But, Grandma,
You submitted a falsified report, an act that led to Kay being accused of murder. You owe us an explanation.
But I can't tell you.
Not don't want to, but can't?
This is really rather unpleasant, don't you think? Ganging up on this poor, considerate girl who's only looking after her grandmother. She has nothing to do with anything. She simply made one tiny mistake. Why not leave it there?
Yeah, that's not sus at all. You'd like that, wouldn't you? Game of the Year for this year's Game Awards, Astrobot, amazing game. Black Myth Wukong, run by anti-feminist bozos. Balatro, good game. Shadow of the Erdtree, not played it. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, didn't enjoy it. And Metaphor ReFantasio, not played it. Cool. Alright. Because the only person her testimony would hurt is you.
What on earth do you mean, my boy? Seeing as you're now a de facto ex-prosecutor, you're going to need to explain yourself better than that.
I'd be happy to. I'll even spell it out for you. You don't think DLC should be allowed? No, Astrobot? Why would Astrobot not be allowed? Astrobot's a full game. Erdtree, I mean, yes, it's an expansion, but this is Game of the Year, not like Expansion of the Year. Or Video Game Experience of the Year, I suppose? Because when you say Game of the Year, I'm expecting an individual game. Not an expansion, a DLC, etc., etc. Hi, madame, how are you? It is good to see you. Yeah, but Balatro was actually really good, though, so what are you talking about? It's not just because it's an indie game. Ongoing game? Yeah, it would fit more in there. Erdtree. Witcher 3's Blood and Wine won Best RPG. Yeah, and it doesn't mean I agree with it. Like, there may have been precedent for this in years past, but that doesn't mean I have to agree with it. But yeah, I like Balatro. I wouldn't say it's Game of the Year. It's a wonderful little game, though. I don't think I can really weigh in because I've not played everything on that list. And I don't want to play Black Myth Wukong anyway. But it's probably not going to win because the masses aren't going to vote for an indie game against that kind of competition. Right, anyway, I mean, it'll probably be up again for Best Indie. Right, anyway, video game. Right, I'd be happy to. I'll even spell it out for you. Nurse Needler's role in this crime was very important because Nurse Needler doctored the report in order to cover for her accomplice.
Ouch!
I can't speak for the content of the Wukong game itself. All I know is the developers are assholes who specifically instructed content creators who were given the game not to talk about feminist propaganda when covering the game. And it's like, what the hell are you talking about? So they're clearly anti-feminist, or yeah. So yeah, the devs are just nasty people.
Oh, so she's a co-conspirator. This innocent young thing? Do share your grounds for making such a wild accusation, dear boy.
The murder couldn't have been committed by one person working on their own. Without at least 2 people, it wouldn't have been possible to move the body, maintain attendee numbers, doctor the report. Yeah, no. Yeah, it makes sense because they saw the same amount of people before and after the murder, and that can only make sense if there was an accomplice. If the auctioneer was the murderer and the victim was one of the attendees, the fact that a witness testified to there being 11 attendees even after the murder doesn't make sense.
Hey, watch it. Y'all gotta call my good word into question now, too.
That's not what I meant. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I'm taking you at your word, which means there must be a co-conspirator.
I know it's hard, my boy, but sometimes you just have to accept you were wrong.
Objection!
I wasn't wrong. I just hadn't considered the possibility of the killer having an accomplice. But as soon as we do, things will start to fall into place. If the killer's accomplice returned to the auction room in place of the victim, there would have indeed been 11 attendees both before and after the murder.
Oh, well, that's your thinking, is it? It's certainly an intriguing theory. But surely the imposter would have been spotted right away.
I don't imagine that Nurse Needler looks strikingly different from the victim in build and stature. With the help of a mask, she could very easily have replaced Miss Ringer without anybody noticing. Well, Nurse Needler, is that what happened? Did you take the victim's place at the auction?
I wouldn't do something like...
Now tell us, the ringleader. Excuse me. Who were they?
I can't tell you. I just can't. It'd hurt Grandma, too. Ow!
Valerie,
Grandma...
please, just have a sip of water.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Stop
hold back
slouching.
burps and you make me want to drink more. Okay. Thank you.
Don't you worry about me. I can take it. You just tell me everything, child. But... Grandma!
Okay. So I was right. She was an accomplice.
Miss Needler, why? Well, Miss Needler, can you explain yourself? Yes. Uh-huh. Oh, thank you, Grandma. But I'm all right now. I confess it. I changed places with Miss Ringer.
So you admit that you were working with the ringleader?
Yeah, I was helping them. Her hair explode.
Okay. I'm constantly, like, touching my chin. I have... You can't see it on my model here, but I've got a big band-aid or plaster or whatever you want to call it, depending on your region, on my chin. Because I hurt myself. accidentally. There was so much blood.
Don't know how, but they found out Miss Ringer was going to attack them.
Oh yeah, I'm fine. Just a nasty nick is all. The culprit was going to be attacked by the victim.
They seemed pretty sure it was going to happen that night, so they made a counter plan. They wanted to strike first, and they wanted me to help them. I was told to go to the storeroom before the auction began and wait there. Now hold on right there, Missy. I didn't see nothing, and my eyes don't lie. If you would have been there from before the auction, I would have bumped right into you. I was there the whole way through, and you weren't there for a bit of it. But I'm not lying.
Well, that's easy for you to say, but you were lying about altering that report only a few minutes ago.
Objection!
I think we're all well aware of the number of potential hiding places in that storeroom.
Are we? Where exactly are you trying to say our friend the nurse was hiding?
Nurse Needler hid here while she was waiting in the storeroom. I mean, the obvious answer, I guess, is the trunk, right?
Take that!
She hid inside this clothes box.
Oh, she did she?
Oh, well, it was there the whole time, even before I moseyed on in. But like I done told y'all, it had all them chains around it. Wanted to hide in there myself, really, but it was locked up tight, so I had to go elsewhere.
I imagine that's because Nurse Needler was already lying in there by the time you arrived.
That's right, we didn't want anybody to open it, or it would have really blown our cover. So the ringleader told me to climb in and wait until it was my time for my part of the plan. And then they wrapped the whole box up in chains. I think they took the elevator downstairs not so long after. It was just before the auction was due to start.
So as the auction was beginning, you and Miss Hart would have been the only people in the storeroom?
Yeah, I think so.
The auction proceeded as it always did, until a certain customer came upstairs to complete her purchase. That was when the incident occurred. Miss Hart overheard the victim and the culprit exchanging words around then.
You betcha. I was behind that statue there, shaking like a dang leaf the whole time.
In the middle of their quarrel, Miss Ringer was killed by the auctioneer. I imagine that the auctioneer then carried Miss Ringer's body over to the clothes box, from which Nurse Needler emerged and swapped places with the victim. After placing Miss Ringer's body inside the box, Nurse Needler's role now was to pretend to be Miss Ringer. The two of them then returned to the room below as if nothing had happened. Does that about sum up what happened in the storeroom, Nurse Needler?
Yes, in fact, that's exactly what happened. Hold up, so you just waltzed right back on in and nobody noticed? This is two completely different people we're talking about. You're telling me not a one of the other folks down there at the auction cottoned on?
Why would they? The other auction goers had no reason to notice the difference when Nurse Needler entered because of clothes. As we've seen, Miss Ringer and Nurse Needler are about the same build. What's more, the auction rules required attendees to wear their masks at all times. If Nurse Needler were wearing the same clothes as Miss Ringer, nobody would have been any the wiser.
No, and they weren't. I borrowed Miss Ringer's clothes and ouch! And left the poor child in her smalls. Have you no respect, girl? No, Grandma, I thought the same thing. It wouldn't be nice to leave her like that. So when the ringleader wasn't looking, I put that raincoat on her.
That's how Miss Ringer came to be wearing it. Thus, the auction was able to carry on as before.
I guess the part where I caught the red raincoat on film came just after. Yeah, must be. Then it all makes sense. Right after that was when I went on over and looked downstairs through the gap in the elevator. Despite me 11 happy little auction goers, then back I snuck to my little hidey hole.
Don't tell me you were hiding back there the entire time after that.
Well, that is, not exactly.
What is it? Did something happen?
So maybe I ought to have mentioned this before, but I fell asleep for a few winks after that. Well, passed out. Unconscious, you might say.
What? What happened?
Oh, nothing much. Kinda silly, really, but, there was this sudden loud noise, and it startled me just a little bit, you know? Alright, maybe more than a little. But I just witnessed a murder. Can't blame a girl for getting jumpy. I guess I got my heart shook and my head faint. Before I knew it, I was out like a light. And by the time I came to, it was the next dang day. And there y'all were clanking down that ladder.
I see. You were startled by a loud noise and fell unconscious. I suppose that means you don't know what happened after that.
Not per se, but, well, after the auction was over and all the masks were back on the rack, so I reckon the guests done finished up and filed out one by one like they was supposed to.
Nurse Needler, once the auction had restarted, what exactly were you doing?
I was pretending to be Miss Ringer and placing bids just as the ringleader wanted. I had to win the clothes box as I'd been instructed. It had a dead body inside after all.
Yo, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a lovely day.
Imagine if somebody else had won it. Now we would have been in real trouble then.
So you had no idea that the victim had vacated the box in the meantime?
No, not until we came back up so I could pay for it. That was when we noticed. The ringleader told me to go look for her right away. Except I found some other girl collapsed at the foot of the ladder instead.
Kay.
Yes, she must have fallen from up on the roof and been knocked unconscious. I guess the victim must have left that hatch wide open, huh?
That would explain it. Kay would have been so shocked by seeing Miss Ringer fall motionless right in front of her that she wouldn't have seen the open hatch and fallen right through it. That explains the noise that caused you to faint as well, Miss Hart. It was the sound of Kay crash landing onto the storeroom floor.
Yeah, I suppose. I can't believe something like that done knock me out for so long, though.
So in summary, by the time Miss Needler found Kay, you were already sound asleep behind the statue. I think we've got a good grasp on what occurred up to this point now. Nurse Needler, if you would continue?
Sure. So, I found Kay, and next I found Miss Ringer, and I put them both in the clothes box. We couldn't risk any of the auction goers seeing them, but that would have caused a real hullabaloo.
Was that your idea, or the ringleader's?
Theirs. By putting the raincoat on Miss Ringer, that was my own idea. So I tried to get rid of it before they found out what I'd done.
I imagine they were none too pleased when it showed up as a surprise piece of evidence in this case.
And lastly, the ringleader and I put her in an auctioneer's outfit we'd prepared.
Of course, which completed the deception and made everyone think she was the auctioneer.
All in all, the auction finished up without anybody noticing anything, and that was that.
Now that we know the extent of your crimes, Nurse Needler, if you have anything further to share, I'd advise you to do so immediately.
I wish I could tell you more, but I'm sorry, that's all I know. Except for one other thing. It did seem a little strange, I guess. When I was borrowing Miss Ringer's clothes, I took everything I could, but I couldn't take her hair, obviously, so ouch! You're dang right you couldn't take her hair. What kind of medical professional are you?
That's where you draw the line? Taking her clothes was okay?
Her hair was totally different. The style, the length, everything. I kind of panicked. But the ringleader thought of everything, including wigs. 2 of them, in fact. There was a straight one and a wavy one, both stashed in the clothes box.
2 wigs? But why?
Right? I wondered that too. I thought maybe they were worried she might have changed up her style. Anyway, I took the straight one. That was the one that matched her hair on the day.
Leaving a wavy wig in the box? if you prepared that much in advance, this must have been hella premeditated. And that's everything you know? There's nothing else you're forgetting?
No, huh? No, really, Grandma, that's everything.
And I take it you really have no idea who the ringleader might be?
Sorry, I only know that they were in charge of the auction. I didn't see them without their mask on. And they were pretty careful to keep their identity a secret from everyone.
Ah, if I can't get something concrete on them...
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Well, Miles, are we about done? You've proven the nurse was part of the murder plot, but sadly for you, it doesn't change a whole lot. Because it does nothing to prove
Valid.
that Kay Faraday isn't
Water.
the ringleader.
Stop slouching.
Thank you, Mystic.
Ah, okay. And justice must prevail. We can't change the law, even for your sake.
Is this it? Am I not going to be able to save Kay?
Objection!
Franziska? Mommy, Franziska, what are you doing here?
As I told you before, Miles Edgeworth, where the case leads, I follow. Your dedication is an inspiration to us all. But don't go getting the wrong idea, little brother. I'm only here to deliver the truth regarding the suspect. I'm certainly not here to forgive you for abandoning the way of the prosecutor.
I understand that.
You should thank your former subordinate for what I'm about to share. In his desperation to help Kay Faraday, he gave me a valuable piece of information.
Detective Gumshoe did that?
Prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth, for the final piece of the puzzle. Rosie Ringer's head wound was the first of the injuries she suffered, not the second. Well, someone say something.
Yes, there's no easy way to say this, Franziska. We already proved that ourselves.
You... what?
Yes, just a few minutes. Ah!
Why didn't you say so sooner?
You didn't exactly give us a chance.
And I suppose you know about the murder weapon too?
No, not yet.
Good. Then listen up. The victim was struck on the head with a blunt object bearing a circular surface. And the wounds to the chest were actually inflicted post-mortem.
Circular surface.
Objection!
And you're certain of that, I assume? Your sources are above board?
Two trusted medical professionals reached the same conclusion independently. You couldn't ask for more.
Objection!
That's certainly good to know. Unfortunately, you're overstepping the bounds.
Of what? I am the prosecutor in charge of Interpol's investigation into the underground auction. And this murder occurred during that auction. It would be negligent of me not to pursue leads pertaining to related parties, especially the victim.
My. You've really become quite the force to be reckoned with, haven't you, my dear?
Then all parties are in agreement. The victim died from a blow to the head.
Circular object. Or something with a circular surface.
Sadly, the murder weapon itself has yet to be identified.
Based on the shape, I might have an idea or two.
But guys, I didn't turn up any other weapon during my investigation.
And yet, one need only think about the setting in an auctioneer's tools, and the answer should be obvious. An object with a circular surface used in an auction. We're obviously talking about Judge Gavel's hammer. The auctioneer's hammer. What would an auctioneer have readily at hand? An auctioneer's hammer, of course.
But we never found one of those. If the auctioneer was indeed the killer, it does seem a likely candidate for the murder weapon. But without the evidence to support your theory, it remains nothing more than that.
Oh, I have just the evidence you need right here. This piece of evidence strongly suggests the auctioneer's hammer was the murder weapon. Duh. Oh, our mass auction continued. The sound of the hammer could no longer be heard after the murder because they had to dispose of it because it was the murder weapon. Right? I don't think it could be anything else. Prepared wigs. One straight, one wavy. Yeah, it must have had blood on it. Take that.
Take that!
Miss Hart told us something very important about the auction after the murder occurred. She said that the very prominent sound of the auctioneer's hammer could no longer be heard. Now, why would that be? I'll tell you why. Because it had just been used in a murder and was covered in the victim's blood. It would need to be disposed of. Isn't that right, Chairman Winner?
I'll have our people look into this right away.
Oh, you really are like a dog with a bone, aren't you, dear boy? But if you can't dedicate yourself to a cause when you're young, when can you,
He seems very confident we'll never find it.
Very well. A search for the murder weapon will be conducted. In the meantime, this court is in recess.
I mean, we're still not in a court, but this is still like the most official place that we've held this kind of trial, in quotation marks. April 6th, Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence Chamber.
Silence in the courtroom, please. Miss Von Karma, if you would be so kind as to update us on the progress of the search. It's not good news, I'm afraid. The entire big building has been searched from top to bottom, and no auctioneer's hammer was found anywhere. That is bad news indeed. Then we have no choice but to move ahead with the verdict.
Sniffle.
Such a terrible shame. But I suppose only a fool would have left the murder weapon behind. It's certainly not what I'd expect from a first-rate criminal mind.
No, it's just not enough to work with here. Can't carry us any further on my own.
Yes, it really is a tragedy, but such is life, I suppose. I was just thinking back over the defendants I've made plea deals with over the years. People who poured their hearts out to me, who trusted me with every detail of their crimes. And then when it came to their sentencing, I recommended life in prison every time. For every single one. Oh, if only you could see them. The stupid, dumbfounded looks on their faces.
Why would you just straight up admit to fucking people over like that?
The verdict will now be passed. All present will accept the goddess's word as law.
There's nothing more I can do. Kay and I are both...
If only we had some proof. Never imagined I would be passing judgment on you under such circumstances.
End of the road, huh?
By the power vested in me, Excelsius Winner, this court hereby indicts you for your crimes.
What?
Oh. What on earth's gotten into you, Verity?
I submit for the court's consideration the case file of a certain incident. Namely, the IS-7 incident, a murder that took place 18 years ago.
And what does that file have to do with... wait, you mean... Your late-night visit to this chamber, that was to...
Precisely. I came here to retrieve these documents. Though sadly it would seem that I arrived too early. To catch the auction itself. When we spoke of the matter before, I implied that I had come to retrieve files pertaining to your own case. You'll have to forgive me, that was a ruse to buy myself more time.
Okay. This is taking a pretty hype turn.
What the heck are you doing, Gavel? You can't just accuse my dad. Without proper grounds, it's defamation. An excellent observation, Eustace. It is. And of course I have the grounds to make such an accusation. 18 years ago, Mr. Manfred von Karma had some details about the victim's body fabricated.
Details he was forced to fabricate when the sculptor Artie Frost's body went missing.
My papa? Fabricating information? What is the meaning of this? Ian Seidman, the detective originally assigned to the case, did in fact report that the body had gone missing. However, it seems that a certain someone wasn't very pleased with Mr. von Karma and deliberately withheld that information in order to bring him down a few pegs.
What?
This individual refuses to allow anyone to go against their wishes or to challenge their power. And they're known to go to extreme lengths in order to bring those who defy them to heel. 18 years ago, they were no different. In fact, they even ordered Dr. Hertz to create a fake autopsy report for the IS-7 incident.
What? She was responsible for the fake report?
Wait, you have to understand, Grandma, she's not a bad person. She had to do what he said. She didn't have any choice.
He?
The person in question was the chief prosecutor at the time.
The chief prosecutor 18 years ago? No.
The man who gave Papa the first penalty of his career. Excelsius winner, it was you.
Objection!
What are you all talking about? My dad would never do something like that.
Overruled.
I'm sorry, Eustace, but your opinion on the matter is not needed here. Well, Chairman Winner, do you have anything to say for yourself?
All that nonsense with the body. That was Manfred's doing, such a willful boy. And the fake autopsy report? Hilda, how could you? I can't believe you naughty kids would do such dishonest things behind my back.
Hold it!
We could just ask her why she did it. She is standing right over there, after all.
Wait, Grandma can't. She's out.
They're just a literal comedy duo, aren't they?
Grandma, I'm sorry. I knew. That's why I... Right, exactly. If I didn't, everybody would have found out about what you did. They said he was going to charge you if I didn't help them with their plan. They said he would... that he would... I just had to do what the auctioneer said.
So you were coerced into it, were you, Nurse Needler? And just to be clear, the auctioneer was Chairman Winner.
I'm sorry, but I honestly don't know. The person forcing me to help them was the auctioneer, and they definitely looked to be about the same build as the chairman, but I never saw their face.
Well, there must be something. Any detail, no matter how small, will do. But what other person would have grounds to, threaten you over this other than the person with the information, i.e. Winner?
Wait. Their mask didn't cover their whole face, and the part that wasn't covered had a tattoo on it. I remember that much for sure.
had a tattoo on the part of their face the mask didn't cover. A tattoo?
Objection.
Do you have a tattoo on your chin? Is the wavy wig just what you're wearing right now?
This all sounds very dramatic, but I really don't know what you're talking about. There's no tattoo anywhere on my face. I think I'd know if there was one, wouldn't you? Which means I can't be the ringleader, no matter how much you might want me to be.
Oh my god. Is his breakdown going to involve him burning his own beard and revealing the tattoo? Because that'll be really funny.
I only hope you can... Sniffle. I hope you figure out who this shameless manipulator might be.
Overruled.
Your contempt for this courtroom is an insult to the goddess.
Are you sure it's not you who's feeling insulted here?
I am not the only one who's been trying to bring you to justice. Miss Ringer had been trying too. And I refuse to let her sacrifice be in vain.
Young Rosie was looking to take me down, you say? But why? I barely knew her. Sniffle. I've always had a certain magnetic charm, but I don't remember ever catching that particular eye.
And speak for yourself, buddy.
You barely knew the victim? Why, I do believe that's a new statement. The goddess demands that you offer your full testimony on the record.
So that's how this is going to go, hmm? You mean to hound me until I finally break?
Oh.
I've been showing contempt for this court since the moment I stepped into it. Pretend I didn't say that. Well, if that's the way you want to play it, fine. I'll destroy you all. Every last one of you.
Mr. Edgeworth, please allow me to work with you on this one. I doubt we'll get another chance to put him on the stand. So let's make the most of this opportunity.
Of course, Your Honor. I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, this is pretty cool, but how the heck are they going to follow this up with a fifth case after this? Because this feels very, like, what everything has been leading to.
Now, Chairman Winner, you will tell this court everything you know about Miss Ringer.
Everything I know.
Young Rosie was a member of the committee, of course. But we never really had any personal interactions. None that I remember. I had no motive to murder that poor girl whatsoever. And I have absolutely no idea why she was after me.
So you don't mean to accept your part in any of this?
Of course he doesn't. He isn't guilty. How could he be? He's my dad, the winner of winners.
That's very kind of you, Eustace. But you'll need more than mere words if you plan to cover for me.
Right, you got it. I won't let them pin this on you. I believe in you, Dad. You'll beat Edgeworth. I know you will.
Yes. You really are such a sweet, simple child.
Hey, Val, take a break. Have some water.
Thank you.
Stop slouching.
Oh, you know when you have an ice cold drink and you just feel it go all the way down? That's good. Moisturize the iguanga.
He really loves his dad, huh? But that's no excuse for him to ignore his father's crimes. No matter how much he respects him.
No, not burn, the opposite. It's a cold drink.
Regardless of their station in life, all criminals will be made to atone for their sins in time.
This won't be easy on Mr. Winner. But it has to be done. We can't let his father get away with this. A member of the committee. We know that as fact, but that doesn't seem worthwhile to press. We never had any interactions, none that you remember. Hold it.
Hold it!
So you're saying you barely knew the victim at all?
That's exactly what I'm saying, my boy, yes. I never even knew about that burn mark on her hand.
You didn't?
I mean, what's the point? You get to know someone, but before you know it, they're gone. It becomes such a pain to remember things about others. They're here one day and gone the next.
Yes, because they dare to stand up to you and you make them disappear. If you could please add your remark about the victim's burn to your testimony, Chairman Winner.
Hold it!
That's a new statement, so I'm going to press it. You're sure you didn't know about the burn mark?
You really don't let up, do you? I'm not in the habit of memorizing who has a scar on their hand and who doesn't.
This wasn't just any old scar. I'd say it's pretty noticeable, in fact.
Perhaps under normal circumstances, but now that I think about it, Miss Ringer did always wear gloves. The truth be told, I wasn't aware of the burn mark until after the incident myself.
The victim's hands were always covered by a pair of gloves.
It makes sense, of course. People can be very self-conscious about such things. I can only sympathize, being something of a sensitive soul myself.
I hope you're not too sensitive to append that statement to your testimony. Always wearing gloves. Perhaps it was to hide the burn.
Hold it!
So you remember her always wearing gloves?
I mean, it was something of a trademark of hers, yes. Who knew it was to hide a burn mark? I always imagined it was just a fashion statement. Does your little friend there have something to hide under all those bandages, I wonder?
Me? No, I don't have anything to hide.
You don't? Not even the stony visage of a cold-blooded murderer?
Objection!
If anyone here is hiding such a thing, it's you. And I'll expose your true face if it's the last thing I do.
Oh, you never fail to entertain, my boy. Go ahead and do your worst.
Miss Ringer always wore gloves. That reminds me of something. I should look over all the evidence again. Okay, well that's a hint and a half. Some evidence here to do with her gloves. We still don't know what that precious thing is. Oh, that's to do with K. Oh, hang on. No, okay, it doesn't show it there. Fitted with a recording device where one of the people recorded had a prominent burn. As in, they weren't wearing gloves at the time. Can I listen back to it? Like, is this it? Can't help but wonder where the horn went. Yeah, no, that's... No, we had to turn this, didn't we? Twisting this horn makes it play the recording. Okay.
I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me.
He knew about the burn! Alright, no, this is it. Objection!
Objection!
So Miss Ringer always wore gloves. If she did, that raises a rather important question, and highlights quite a contradiction.
A contradiction, you say? Really?
If we listen again to the conversation that was captured by the stuffed cow, you'll soon see what I mean.
And I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. Nothing to say for yourself? I've waited so long for this day, and now I'll finally have my revenge.
We can be reasonably certain that what we just heard is the moment the victim was attacked. I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. We assumed that those were the words of the killer.
Where's the problem in that? Seems like a perfectly sensible assumption to me.
I'm afraid not, Chairman Winner. But you see, if the victim was always wearing gloves as you just testified, then the burn mark on her hand should not have been visible to her killer.
Objection.
You speak as if gloves can't be easily removed. She could have taken them off during the auction.
That's...
But she hadn't. She was still wearing them when I changed places with her. So they must have been on her hands when she was being murdered too.
What are you saying, my dear? You do know how much trouble you're in, don't you?
I'm not scared of you anymore. I have grammar on my side now. Now it's time for you to pay the piper, Winner, you dang devil.
I see. So you're both looking to disappear too? Oh. That can be arranged.
Not this time, Excelsius Winner. The only person disappearing will be you. Also, you just totally admitted it.
Objection.
You can't talk to my dad like that. Who cares if the burn was covered up? Why does that even matter?
Objection.
Oh, it matters. Because it turns our understanding of the burn mark on its head.
What do you mean? What can the fact that the victim's burn mark was covered up possibly tell us?
That the murderer had one too, and this was the victim out for revenge? Which kind of makes sense because Rosie was after not Eustace, after Excelsius Winner. They both had a burn mark. Think about it like this, Mr. Winner. The victim was wearing gloves, therefore the burn mark on her hand would not have been visible. In which case, whose burn mark was it that was being referenced in the recording?
Somebody who wasn't the victim?
Precisely. Which can only mean that the culprit had a prominent burn mark too. Or to put it another way, I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. Those words were spoken not by the murderer, but by the victim.
No way!
Objection.
Eustace, my boy, would you mind stepping aside for a sec? Look, Miles, it's nice to see you having fun with your little flights of fancy, but let's get serious. So the murderer had a burn mark now? Really? Where? Your little theory will either take flight or die depending on your answer here, I'm afraid.
He's not messing around. I have to figure out where that burn mark was, and fast.
I wonder where it could have been. All of the auction people were wearing disguises, right?
Yes, and each disguise was different. Yet in spite of that, the burn mark was visible to the victim somehow, which means...
Well, shall we? Enlighten us, why don't you? Where was the murderer's burn mark? I assume you have some evidence.
White jacket, white gloves, flower and a mask. Tattoo on a part of the face the mask didn't cover. Did you have a burn on your face? Perchance? If the mask didn't cover your whole face, but it was still visible, then it has to be, right?
Take that.
Here is my evidence. The outfit the ringleader was wearing throughout the auction. Or rather, the outfit you were wearing, Chairman Winner.
Oh, and what exactly is that supposed to tell us,
Objection.
A suit, white gloves, and a mask. This disguise should have covered almost all of your skin. But according to Nurse Needler's testimony, the auctioneer's mask didn't quite cover your entire face. And not only that, she claims to have seen a tattoo on the part that was exposed. But was it a tattoo? Or did she simply mistake a burn mark for one?
A burn mark? On the face?
Objection.
Sorry to interrupt while you're so clearly enjoying yourself, dear boy, but I regret to inform you that none of the committee members had such a burn. Myself included, of course.
But Dad, I mean...
Eustace, you think you can be quiet, please? You can be so foolish on your own. You can be foolish on your own time later.
He knows, doesn't he? Well, you may be an annoyance most of the time, Mr. Winner, but on this particular occasion I'm grateful for your presence. A reaction like that from you, his son, is as good an indicator of the truth as I could have hoped for. And it gives me a much-needed confidence boost concerning another theory of mine. Namely, who that one unexplained item belongs to.
What's the matter with Mr. Winner?
I think he might be in shock. After all, he's usually the last to figure things out. But in this case, he seems to have gotten there all too quickly. He knows that his father is indeed the real murderer.
He's sad because he knows the truth? So, it's better not to know the truth at all?
No, Kay, it's what we came here for. It doesn't matter how we get there. The important thing is finding the truth. You yourself told me that once, right when I needed to hear it most. And now it's time for me to repay the favor and show you the truth of your innocence.
I want to know too. The truth of what really happened.
Trilo the ventriloquist. Oh, the pedophile. I don't remember what voice I gave him. That was like 5 games ago.
Say it with me, everyone. Prosecutor committee members.
Oh, no. That's a new line, right.
Say it with me, everyone. A suit, white gloves, a mask that doesn't cover the full face.
Ventriloquist dummy? Okay, I think I gave him like a sort of Brooklyn accent or an attempt at one. But it was a long time ago, and if you're asking me to remember something that happened more than a week ago, it's gone. And hi, Queen.
So please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you show me?
I very much intend to.
Brooklyn Rage!
God damn it.
You don't know when to give up, do you? Where is this burn, then? Perhaps you could point it out to me. But you can't, can you? Because it's nowhere to be found. Just like your evidence that I'm the killer.
Yeah, hunt for contradictions all you like. You won't find any. Because he's my dad. A winner through and through.
Objection!
Yeah, it's been off for a while, Mystic, because... I don't know, I think I'm tired of it. I understand, Mr. Winner. I completely understand why you don't want to believe it's true. But if you ignore the truth now, you'll regret it for as long as you live.
Dad, what do I do?
Ugh, I just don't understand it. How could I have raised such an utter buffoon? If you really wish to help your father, Eustace, you can try thinking on your own for once in your life, you useless nitwit.
But I try all the time, Dad. All I do is try. I went to the school you wanted me to go to. I aced every test. Look at my jacket. They only give these to the valedictorian. I did everything you told me to. I worked like crazy and graduated top of my class. I tried to be just like you and win as many trophies as I could.
Objection!
You really are just a simpering simpleton, aren't you? Those tests you aced, I had the school give you perfect scores on all of them. Those debate and speech competitions you won, the judges were all friends of mine. If you never even realized that much, there's no hope for you, I'm afraid. None at all. You're no son of mine. Even you must see that. Oh, gone. My own son. They all leave in the end. Oh, I mean, boo! Even when he was trying, he was failing, and he did it all for me? He should have tried harder.
You're a disgrace. You don't deserve to be a father, and you certainly don't deserve to be chairman of this committee.
Even I feel sorry for the boy now. Poor Mr. Winner. Explain yourself, Chairman Winner. Just what do you think your son is to treat him in such a way?
An utterly useless pawn sounds about right. But you're one to talk verity. You try to worm your way into my trust by using Eustace too.
I cannot deny it. However, I have never thought of him as a mere pawn. He may not be a naturally gifted prosecutor, but he tries. In some ways, he tries harder than anybody. That's what I have witnessed during my time with him. Yet you would call him useless. How could you?
Objection.
Oh, because he is Verity, my girl. He's utterly incapable of doing anything I ask of him.
Mr. Edgeworth, I entrust my offering to the goddess to you, so that you may use it to call her final judgment unto Excelsius Winner.
Thank you, Your Honor. I've been more than ready to do so. If the ringleader had a visible burn mark on their face that night, then it would follow that Chairman Winner is currently hiding that mark somehow. How exactly was he dressed during the auction? That will be the key to solving this case at last.
Now then, your answer, please. Which piece of evidence will help us to reveal the burn mark on the culprit's face?
Good question. The wavy wig? Perchance? Is it exactly what I assumed it was going to be? And that it's not a real beard and it's a wig? And maybe his breakdown will involve him burning it off his face to reveal the burn? Perchance. Oh, I can't actually open the menu while this menu's open, and I can't close this without picking something. So I just have to go for it.
Take that!
What I can do is save now, as soon as the dialogue pops up. Now I can save. There you go. Recall Nurse Needler's testimony, if you will. There was one thing we never quite resolved. The second wig. The one that wasn't used.
Valerie, please.
Yep.
Just have a sip of water.
Stop slouching.
I caught that. The one that wasn't used. Okay, it's been an hour and we found another typo. The one that wasn't used.
I seem to remember it being wavy. What are you two talking about?
Nurse Needler apparently found some very interesting items when she went to swap places with the victim.
And what do they have to do with the burn mark?
What she found were two wigs. One was intended to make her look more like the victim, but what was the other one for?
I don't suppose it was meant to be a spare.
It doesn't take a huge leap of imagination to see the truth. Compare Chairman Winner's current appearance to that of the ringleader as it was described to us.
Stop it! Stop staring at me.
One very prominent difference presents itself. His face, or rather, what's around it.
You mean it wasn't a wig after all?
Indeed. Not a wig intended to go on the top of the head, in any case. It was a fake beard all along, wasn't it, Excelsius Winner?
This? Well, this is all my own, dear boy. Very unkind of you to suggest otherwise.
Objection!
We saw how your son reacted when he realized the truth, and how he desperately tried to cover for you, even in light of his realization. Yet you still feared that he might expose you. So rather than take that risk, you bullied him until he couldn't take it anymore. Because he knew. He knew that your beard hides a prominent burn mark. Prominent beard mark. Gah. Chairman Winner, I insist that you remove your beard this instant. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Knew it. There's a skull on his chin.
But there it is, the burn mark. Mr. Edgeworth, for bringing evil to justice before the eyes of the goddess, you have my thanks.
No, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you.
Excelsius Winner, in the name of the goddess, I hereby pronounce my verdict. In the matter of the murder of Miss Rosie Ringer, this court finds you guilty.
Yay. Oh, and these already taken away. Oh, God, all before 10 a.m. I'm never even usually awake at that time.
Mr. Edgeworth, I can't thank you enough. You never gave up on me, even when I gave up on myself. That was very kind of you.
There's no need to thank me. As a prosecutor... No, as a friend. It was the least I could do.
Mr. Edgeworth, rejoice. I've learned that Chairman Winner has been safely delivered to the detention center.
And I've been safely delivered to my goth outfit.
The search for the missing auction hammer continues. However, we are talking about Chairman Winner here, so it's highly likely that it has already been destroyed. In addition, there is one other matter I must inform you of. The chairman made a rather strange statement. According to him, the letters were not part of his plan.
What? How could that be?
He claims that he and Miss Needler found this letter on Miss Ringer's person. And that they then found a second letter on Kay's unconscious body. From their contents, the letters seemed to be ones of correspondence, not seemed to ones. Missing a word there. Okay, Capcom. The letters seemed to be ones of correspondence. So he leapt to the conclusion that they must have been working with each other.
That's quite the conclusion to jump to.
As he read the letters, that's when he came up with the idea to frame Miss Faraday for Miss Ringer's murder. So he decided to place the victims in a very conspicuous place. Namely, in her left chest pocket.
It sounds to me like he's just trying to make excuses for himself.
Yes, I certainly thought the same. Perhaps it was some sort of last-ditch ploy on his part. But it matters not. He will answer to the goddess now. And under her scrutiny, such strategies cannot hope to succeed. He will not escape justice.
Hang on, what? Yeah, victim apostrophe S is a contraction, so that would mean victim is. So I guess that is also a typo, right? Place the victim is in a very conspicuous place. And also, there's only one victim, so why did you... Wait, no, wait. Frame the victim's letter. Ah, yeah, no, it's still possessive with a contraction, yeah. Yeah, an apostrophe can indicate possession as well, right? Yeah, possessive instead of a contraction. So yeah, no, that's not a typo. Look, I failed English, okay? So things like that, I'm going to be a bit...
And under her scrutiny, such strategies cannot hope to succeed. He will not escape justice.
It is a typo, so they should have put the... No, but the... God damn it.
As he read the letters, that's when he came up with the idea, so he decided to place the victims in a very conspicuous place. Now, that still makes sense if you consider the previous sentence. That's not a typo. And with that, one of the duties with which I have been entrusted with is complete at last. Judge Gavelle. Before you go, can you tell us what you know about how Chairman Winner came to murder Miss Ringer? There's more there, isn't there? Yes, and I suppose you have earned the right to the whole truth.
Iggy.
Miss Ringer once had a lover, a press photographer. I wouldn't say my English knowledge is actually terrible. It's not the best. It's not like fucking A-levels or anything, or higher. I'm no English lit major or whatever the heck. I just really do bad in test conditions. I did bad on all my school tests, okay? Because that was an environment I did not flourish in whatsoever. And, coupled with my anxiety and tendency to have panic attacks, it didn't go well. I ended up failing most everything. Because the school did not provide me an environment in which I could flourish. So, are you going to forgive me for all the trouble I caused you during the previous 2 cases while I was undercover? Buy me some Steel Samurai merchandise and I'll consider it. Miss Ringer once had a lover, a press photographer. He was investigating the underground auctions as a freelance journalist. But before he could uncover the truth behind the auctions, he was disappeared. All Miss Ringer was left with were the memories and personal effects of her lover. I used to have beautiful cursive handwriting. Used to. But I still struggled with writing. To the point where I couldn't finish a lot of things on time. So my school gave me a little, not a laptop, more like a little, oh god, it had the cheapest little LCD screen like you find on like a calculator, just to like type things into, and then you'd connect it to a computer to like pull a TXT file off of it. Yeah, like a little word processing thing to type on instead of write. And I got my work done much faster. No, because it was still like the size of a keyboard, but with like a screen on top to see what you're typing. But that's all it did. All it did was type. But as a result, despite me getting my work done faster, I never wrote. Never needed to after that. So my handwriting went down the freaking toilet. So rather than help me, fix the problem, they just throw it all out and just give me an alternate solution, which made me suffer more in the long run. Because now when I have to write, it's a mess. Absolute mess. But I can type real quick. I can type real quick without looking. Like, I could... Okay, hang on. If you look at my eyes, this is me looking at my keyboard, but it probably just looks like my eyes are closed just because of the webcam position. So you can tell when I'm looking at my keyboard. So, like, I can start typing now while still talking to you lot. And it'll be fine. I'll press enter on that. There you go. I can type without looking at the keyboard. Because I do a funny thing with Alice sometimes. Like, I'll be talking to someone on Discord, like, just not in a call, but, like, typing to them. And I'll look over to Alice while she's talking, and I'm listening to her, and I'm just, like, typing away still. And I don't make any mistakes. Funny. And she's like, how are you doing that? I mean, type without looking, yeah, but type without looking and also paying attention to what she's saying to me. I don't know, I think it's just because I've typed so much. I don't know. But a lot of people who have a lot of experience with keyboards can type without looking, especially if they used to like touch typing. And I grew up with a particular game, I think it was a Flash game at one point, called Hyper Shark. I actually have a Steam port of it.
It's a game where you go diving and sharks approach you from the side. It's like 2D. Your diver's diving on the left, straight down, and sharks are coming from the right. And you got to type the words on the sharks and the piranhas before they touch the diver. And that's a typing game I grew up with. It's Type a Shark. I love that game. I've still got it on Steam. I'll stream it one day and have like 2 viewers because everyone's like, what the fuck is this, Ig? This isn't a game. This is educational. How dare you? Typing of... I think I do own Typing of the Dead. Hang on, let me check my Steam list. Yes, I do have the Typing of the Dead Overkill. I have 4 hours in it. I don't think I've finished it, but I don't know how long the game is. If I look up Type a Shark. Type a Shark Deluxe. This game comes in with an absolute whopping file size of 7.91 megabytes. This game is less than 8 megabytes. This is what it taught me to type. I'm gonna put it in chat. I'm gonna put it in chat. It's £4. £4.25. And has a demo. And there were like boss fights against like submarines which would shoot missiles at you. And you'd type the word on the missile, but you'd have to time it because when you typed it, it would parry the missile and send it straight back to the submarine to deal damage. And you'd have also special kinds of sharks. Like tiger sharks, you'd have to type 2 words to defeat those. We could have a high score tournament. Oh, we could. If you were on dial-up, you would not be capable of watching the stream, Zardicus. Objection. Your presence here is proof. Well, you'd reflect the missile. You're not exactly parrying it, but that's just in my vernacular so much that I keep saying parry. It would just turn the missile around when you type the word. Anyway, we were playing Ace Attorney, weren't we? Kids are faster typing with... Who types with their 2 thumbs only? Who types with just thumbs? That seems so uncomfortable. What the hell? Just your thumbs, no fingers? Oh, mobile user. Right, okay, yeah. I was stuck on thinking of keyboards. I barely use my phone. I am horrible at typing on phones. Also, I think my touchscreen's busted to the point where oftentimes it does not... Like, I will type an L on the keyboard and it will put an R, an S, a V, a B, a T, and a G. And I'm like, these are... How are you doing this, phone? It's like, I'll type hello and it turns into a full panda-style key smash. Right. Oh, yeah. Ace Attorney. I'm getting distracted again. Minimum requirements. Windows 98, 128 meg of RAM, 500 megahertz faster DirectX 7.
Hey, Val. What do you think about some juice?
Yes, I'll have a drink.
Stop slouching.
But yeah, no, I just think my phone's touchscreen is busted.
All Miss Ringer was left with were the memories and personal effects of her lover. And so, seeking revenge on Chairman Winner, she made her appearance at the auction. Unfortunately for her, her opponent struck first.
I see. So that's the story behind this case.
While the goddess does not condone acts of wanton vengeance, Miss Ringer's actions have exposed Chairman Winner's crimes at last.
So that was your real goal. You were tasked with exposing Excelsius Winner and the corruption at the heart of the committee.
Does anyone know what happened to Mr. Winner? I'm afraid I haven't been able to get in touch with him. Do you have any idea why? Probably because I wasn't there for him just now when he needed me most. Oh, I really feel bad for him. Well, don't pity him too much. At least he knows the truth now. And no matter how hard it might be, he'll need to learn to accept it. If he can't, he'll never be able to move on with his life. Trust me.
A father's influence isn't easily erased. But in time, he can hopefully try and change his ways.
You're right. You've got to be. Can I change too, I wonder? Can I move on with my life?
After everything we've learned today, I care about Eustace, yes. Because his attitude was basically instilled into him because of his father, forging all his tests and inflating his ego the whole time. He was living a lie this whole time. Not his fault.
Are you okay, Kay? How's that head feeling? I'm fine. Thank you.
Yeah, learning from failure is like a huge part of life. You have to fail to succeed. There is no exception to that. Everyone fails on their path to success. If nobody fails once, they're lying. But yeah, he's still a kid. Which is why I try to tell myself this, because I'm a better streamer than I was like 5 years ago, I would say. And it all comes through a lot of shitty streams in the past. Which eventually builds up. You eventually build up knowledge, you learn things, and you get better at what you do through practice and through research and looking things up. Same can be said for any hobby or skill. If you want to get good at something, you got to put a lot of effort in over a long period of time. Can't be afraid to fail. You will fail, so embrace it. During play, you only get XP from failing. Failing attempts gives you an XP point. That's an interesting sounding system. His Ace Attorney 6 stream's awful. I said 5 years ago. Most of you weren't even here 5 years ago. I had like an audience of like 4 5 years ago. Instead of closer to 40 or whatever we're at now, because I try to hide the numbers, because otherwise I focus on them too much. I mean, I do review my numbers at the end of a stream. I'll get like an email, like, here's your stream summary, and it was like, oh, okay, this happened here, etc., etc. Usually my streams start real slow, but after an hour, they even out, and then I'm kind of coasting roughly around there for the rest of the stream. Right, anyway.
I'm so sorry, Kay. You were my patient. I had a responsibility to you, and instead I let them accuse you. Ow! Dang right. We ain't just in the business of fixing bodies, Missy. The mind's where it all begins. You're right, Grandma. Speaking of which, how's your memory? It's like, with a little more time, maybe I'll be able to remember some more. Please forgive me, but I'd better be on my way. I am to preside over the trial of Fifi Lagarde in a bit.
The Bronco Knight case, Who's the attorney?
We're supposed to be Miss Ringer, but as she is no longer with us, we are still in the process of finding her replacement.
Miss Ringer was scheduled to represent Warden Lagarde?
And of course, until we find Eustace, there's nobody to act for the prosecution either. In any case, I must take my leave.
I do wonder, actually. I just got a crazy idea. What if Capcom finally decided to localize this because the next game in the series is going to be a callback to this? Because it feels like a lot of details that happen here are not really brought up again, other than Edgeworth being head prosecutor, which I assume happens at the end of the game. And like, what if Winner comes back? And he's older, and like, he's learned shit, and he's actually good at his job, and you actually face him in court in the new game whenever that happens. So they thought, oh, we got to provide the context for the character, so we got to localize this one, get it out quick before we announce the new one. That'd be interesting. Or it could be just because they wanted to get the complete series available for everyone on modern systems.
Wait, please, what about Mr. Edgeworth's badge? What's going to happen to it now? With its chairman under arrest, the committee's activities have been suspended for the time being. So to answer your question, it's complicated. It's all up to the goddess now. But
don't worry about it, Kay. It's a consequence of my own making. I don't think we're going to go back to Karain. Is Phoenix ever referenced in this series of games? Never by name directly. But yes. Like, Edgeworth might be thinking, oh, just like that one defender who made me question my ways. That kind of thing. He's never mentioned by name, but he is mentioned in spirit, I guess? Don't worry about it, Kay. It's a consequence of my own making.
I assume you do not mean to change your mind.
Of course not. I chose the path of the truth, and I chose it willingly.
With Chairman Winner out of the picture, justice is in the hands of the righteous once more. If you did wish to follow the path of the prosecutor again, Mr. Edgeworth, I would be more than happy to facilitate such a decision.
Very kind of you to offer. I can't accept your help at this time. I can't ask for my badge back when I'm not even sure if I want it anymore.
I see. It seems we are destined to continue on different paths then.
Well, I trust you'll keep my badge safe until they converge again.
With all I have. In the meantime, I have here a token of the goddess's mercy. You may return this notebook to its rightful owner.
Kay's promise notebook?
It seems it was due to be sold in the auction. And with the name Kay written on its cover, Chairman Winner made the connection immediately and knew who it belonged to. It was the same name as the one in the letters, after all.
The letters he claimed to know nothing about? I suppose he insisted he didn't prepare them.
Yes, he also had something else to say. Apparently he thought that Miss Faraday was after her notebook, and that Miss Ringer was after his life. And that their respective goals are what led them to cooperate and infiltrate the auction together.
Unfortunately for him, he misread the situation completely. It was all just happenstance. If Kay had known a defense attorney who was also a member of the committee, there's no way she wouldn't have told me. That just isn't like her.
Your belief in her is touching. While the notebook did become part of Chairman Winner's cover-up scheme, it is also a treasured possession of Miss Faraday's, which is why I would like for her to have it back, as I am sure would the goddess.
Thank you.
I pray that it helps her to recover her lost memories. Is everything all right?
Judge Cavell wanted me to return something important to you.
Yep, isn't that...
Oh, is it all gonna come flooding back?
Always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Never cry in front of strangers. Daddy! I wrote them all down, Daddy. Yeah, I'm gonna keep all my promises and be a real hero when I grow up, just like you. Oh, wait! I forgot to write one down. Most important promise of all. Promise number 5. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. I remembered it just how you said it. And now I'll never forget it. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. That's right. I have to try. I'm Kay Faraday. A great thief who'll do anything to get her hands on the truth. Second Yadagarasu, an assistant to Mr. Edgeworth.
Kay
Hey, is it really you? Can't say I'm not a little bit embarrassed, but yeah, I'm back. I couldn't have done it without you, Mr. Edgeworth. You never stopped helping me, even when I was totally lost and couldn't remember anything.
Oh, thank goodness. You certainly seem to be back.
Hey, so this is the real you, huh? Well, welcome back. So good to know you're better. I can sleep easy now. Now that you found it, don't you dare go losing that memory of yours again, young lady, you hear? Oh, Miss Needler, Dr. Hertz, thanks a lot for looking after me. And if you really are better, how about you get out of them dang hospital duds?
Oh, that happened to this case. She took a bit of a tumble and hit her head and got some amnesia for, like, the majority of this case.
Yeah, I washed all your clothes for you. Here.
I thought they were with Detective Gumshoe.
He handed them over to us after they came back from forensics.
And did he happen to mention if forensics found anything of note?
I didn't ask. Anyway, never mind that now. Put them on, Kay. I want to see.
Wait, what about her bandages? Surely it's too soon to remove them.
Oh, it's probably fine. She may have taken a big old bump to the head, but she wasn't really hurt otherwise.
But then, why all the bandages in the first place?
Prevention is better than cure.
The cure?
Better than cure?
I feel like there's a slight grammatical error there.
A stitch in time saves 9. Those are just a few of my mottos.
Both of which sound
Val,
like painfully annoying
time to have some
practices for your
water.
patients.
Stop slouching.
Thank you. Okay, Kay. Transformation time. Yeah, now this is what I'm talking about. Fits like a stolen glove. That smile suits you better too. As it always did. Thanks to you too, Miss Von Karma. So glad you showed up when you did. I simply came when Scruffy asked me to. I'm sure he'll be very happy to see that you're back to your old self too. Speaking of Gummy, where is he? Who knows? Perhaps the well of his devotion ran dry when a certain someone threw away his badge.
Detective Gumshoe.
Anyway, I have to be going. And I'll be taking those two with me. Wait, what's going to happen to them? Acting as an accomplice in a murder and forging an autopsy report 18 years ago. Their crimes can't be allowed to go unpunished. But the fact that Excelsius Winner coerced them into cooperating will, of course, be taken into account. But don't you worry about us, Kay. As long as Grandma and me are together, we'll be alright. Take care, Kay Faraday, until we meet again.
Yeah, there's a statute of limitations for forgery. I guess they want to follow up and see if he messed with any other cases with their help that I've not been involved with. So, hey, I know you only just got your memory back, but I need to ask you some questions.
Sure, ask away.
What happened the day you lost your memory? What were you doing?
Let's see. Somebody asked me to meet them at Gord Lake. I didn't know who it was.
Wait. The stand? The tree? This matches the roof.
There I was, just looking up at the moon when somebody in a red raincoat started walking toward me. They must have drugged me somehow, because that's when I fell unconscious.
What? I'm not sure I follow. I was at Gord Lake looking up at the moon?
Anyway, when I came to, I was on the roof of this building. I was in a daze and stumbling around up there when I saw the person in the red raincoat again, but they were lying on the ground. I was so surprised I stumbled backward. And then I was falling, and everything went dark. When I came to the second time, I couldn't remember anything. The person in the red raincoat. Who in the world were they?
You know, I too have experienced memory loss from a head injury. That memory never came back. Never came back.
I'm sure they were walking in midair. Thinking about it's making my head hurt.
Just breathe, Kay. You only just got your memory back. You're still confused. Every 2 weeks? No, this was years and years ago. I was like... I would have been like between 13 and 15 years old, I think, roughly. Long time ago.
I took a bit of a tumble.
I imagine the root cause of your confusion is your memories of 2 different locations. I imagine things are all mixed up in your mind because you were at Gourd Lake 1 minute and then at the top of the big building the next. And because you saw the moon in both locations, your mind blended your memories of the 2 together.
But those are 2 totally different places. I know I was pretty out of it, but I don't think I could have gotten them confused that easily.
Hit in the head by a small angry man in chainmail. I believe these things on the roof may have made you more likely to become confused. Oh, the tree.
Take that!
There are 2 key similarities between the scene down by Gourd Lake and here on top of the big building. Cherry blossoms and food stands.
Wait, you're right.
Those similarities are what caused your memories of both places to overlap. The person in the red raincoat wasn't walking in mid-air. They were walking toward you from across the park. But in your blurry memories, that same sight played out over the viewing platform instead. Excuse me.
No way. Who steals a great thief's memories, huh? That's just cheating.
Trying to hold it back while I did that line and then it just came out. Sorry. Even still, this doesn't answer the question of who attacked Kay in the park. Was it the person in the red raincoat she saw? Do you hear that?
Sounds like it's coming from up in the storeroom. Come on, let's go take a look. Oh, hooey! I smell another scoop in the oven.
You're still here? Okay, what's beeping?
Oh, it's coming from this little gadget here, Mr. Edgeworth.
Was part of the game audio? No, that was unfortunately me. My mute is easy to reach. I have no excuse. Like with the microphone being right in my face, there's a little capacitive touch button on the top of the mic I can just tap. And I don't know why I'm doing it for demonstration, because you can't hear me or see me doing it. But I did. Oh, this transceiver. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. Alice isn't even home. I'm alone in the room.
It's still going.
I'm no good with technology.
Come on, you have to pick up. Fine, I'll do it. Hey, this is Edgeworth.
Kay, if you could refrain from answering strange calls for me. Mr. Edgeworth, I presume. I know that voice. Shelley the Killer! Congratulations on another case solved. Yet I can't truly say it's been fully resolved. Can you? I'm sure you've noticed by now that there was a mastermind at work orchestrating the entire incident. How do you even know about this case? That's not what's important right now. Let's focus on this certain individual for the time being, shall we? I have indeed been wondering myself if somebody else could have been involved. If not, how are we to explain the piece of evidence that proved so damning to Kay's case?
No way, an evil mastermind. But who?
Who indeed? Perhaps you could share your thoughts. What is the evidence in question that points to somebody else's involvement? What happened 12 years ago? No, I feel like I'm going with this.
Take that!
The letter K supposedly wrote to the victim.
Yeah, I don't remember ever writing that.
So who did? Who would prepare such a thing? I know I'm not the only one who would like to know. And how do we know it wasn't you?
Now, why would I do a thing like that, hmm?
I believe the truth can only fully come to light in a court of law. But since you've had your badge revoked, that is no longer an option. So how will it all end? I, for one, will be watching from the sidelines with interest. He even knows about my badge. Oh, and one last thing. I do hope you won't betray my trust in you. Now, I bid you farewell.
What the heck did he mean by the case hasn't been fully resolved? Why is he so interested in us anyway? Everything's just one giant ball of mysteries.
It seems we've only scratched the surface of this case. But even without my badge, I'm going to carry on doing what I can. However this ends, one thing's for certain. Come what may, I will expose the truth. The end of episode 4.
Save me!
Of course I'm going to save you, dork. Right. Turnabout for the ages. Before we start, I am going to have a quick bathroom break. You've been really on the trigger with hydrate redemptions. Dork elf. Haha.
Hey, Val. What do you think about some juice?
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Stop slouching.
But who was phone? Oh, Shelly the Killer. Right, I'll be right back while I go piss girl. To climb down. I think I saw a well. Jesus Christ.
Still making my mixtape.
Yeah, well, now we have to commit insurance fraud.
We don't have elf. Me and cheese. Happy! Hell yeah! Hope you're having a good time with SnowRunner. And you didn't get stuck or fall off any cliffs. Okay. Now, we're going to play the raid trailer. Enjoy! As soon as I find the right oh, there it is.
It's so much cheese. Ah!
Kaboom. I'm out of there, baby. I like this barrier spell. Oh no, fuck! He knows the way around.
Oh, I don't need to dispose of that body. That body's already good. Whee! Look at him spin! Whee! Helicopter! Helicopter! Whee! And just point it at it. Oh, come on. The extinguisher's on fire. Oh, no, I got it. I got it. There you go. Ooh, fire extinguisher. Ah! Ah!
Welcome back. Right, let's get the game back up. There we go. You ever get surprised by how much piss fits in a body? Like, damn, Anyway, let's start the next episode. No, oh, okay, just me. Wait, was that the other horn of the toy? Excuse me, are we having kaiju attacks now? What? I have to defend Godzilla from a murder accusation. Oh, wait, no, this was the movie that Penny was making outside. Oh god, it is a kaiju movie. Okay. Okay. Also, the piss quote got added twice. April 6th, 10:02 a.m. Okay, we have just left the building. Same day and everything.
So what's next for the great Miles Edgeworth, huh? Wait, you are serious about not being a prosecutor no more, ain't you?
Yes, I am. Maid? No longer a prosecutor. It's hard to believe, and yet...
I can't stop thinking about what Mr. DeKiller said.
Me either. Congratulations on another case solved. Yet I can't truly say it's been fully resolved. Can you? This isn't over. We still don't know who the mysterious figure in the red raincoat at Gourd Lake was, or who really wrote that letter. We've been dancing to somebody else's tune this whole time, but whose?
Still can't let it go, huh? You're like a dog with a dang bone. Both of y'all are. Well, I got me some reportering to do, so I guess I'll catch y'all some other time. Ah, you have a new story to chase already? You trying to patronize me, girlie? You bet I got new stories, more than you could shake a stick at. Good reporter always has 3 or 4 leads bubbling away in the old scoop pot. Somebody, please! Whoa, what now? Please, you have to help me.
Do I know her? What's the matter? Something happened?
There's a body. It looks almost like a monster might have...
A monster?
Well, I'll be. Anybody else smell the sweet, sweet smell of scoop soup? This way, hurry!
Oh my god, her run animation.
What's happened now?
You do know that girl, that's Penny. From Ace Attorney 1, Case 3. What indeed? I suppose there's only one way to find out. Not from Pokemon, no. She worked at the studio with Powers, with the Steel Samurai. Old Bag was there. The Mafia lady, I forget her name. The creepy director, I also forget his name. Vasquez, that was right. And Salmonella. God. Alright.
Huh? These look like... Oh, yep, footprints. This right here is photo gold.
Footprints? How big would a creature have to be to leave prints like that? Yeah, we're in the empty lot now. This is the tie-in Yakuza 0 quest, despite the fact this takes place 40 years after Yakuza 0.
Yep, Mr. Edgeworth, look.
Oh, fuck off, are you dead now? Shilong Lang. What's he doing here?
Wait, the guy on the floor, that's...
No. Fucking president of Zhengfa, who we saved... Who had an assassination attempt in case 1 and got away, and now he's dead. Dijon Wang, the president of Zhengfa. Agent Lang, Mr. Prosecutor. How'd you get here so quick? What's going on here?
Huh? You don't think that's exactly what I'm trying to figure out myself?
Can't blame him for being on edge, I suppose. The leader of his country is dead. Speaking of which, the body is lying inside one of the footprints. What on earth happened to him?
Monster!
Monster?
What the heck else you want me to say, huh? Them right there's monster prints, mister. Big old bad old Taurosaurus. Taurosaurus. I done stomped right through here. I ain't never been surer of nothing.
What? I suppose you mean you are sure?
This right here's the scoop to scoop up all the other scoops and bury 'em 10 feet deep. Man trampled by giant monster. No lead with that in every paper from here to Honolulu.
Ridiculous. No such thing as monsters. Wait.
The honor is all mine, Mr. Edgeworth. I am Dijon Wang. Your efforts on behalf of Zhengfa have not gone unnoticed. You averted something of a crisis.
You're the assassin we've been looking for. In a sense, yes. A certain someone did indeed hire me to carry out a contract. And that contract did indeed specify that I was to assassinate President Wang. Did he finally manage to?
You! Did you discover the body? Yes, that is,
What are you doing, Agent Lang?
Lang Ji says. Begin at the beginning, with the first person to arrive at the scene. Well, did you really just discover the body? Yes, yes. Hey, go easy on her. Can you see she's scared?
I don't think he's in the mood to go easy on anybody.
Nobody's getting it easy today. Do you have any idea who that is lying dead over there? That's President Wang, the leader of Zhengfa.
Hold it!
Please, Agent Lang. You don't seem your usual self. In more ways than one, in fact. When we first met, you had more underlings than I could count. And you were known for your unrivaled arrest rate and your cool head under pressure. Now the underlings are gone and you've forgotten the fundamentals of police work. What happened?
Yeah. What did you just say?
Shouldn't you be looking over the scene instead of accusing the first person you run into? Or is it me who's forgotten the fundamentals?
Yeah. I don't need you to tell me how to do my job. I was just about to get started.
Good. That seems to have calmed him down a little.
We should take a look around too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, I think we should. At least until the police arrive. I'm not strictly supposed to conduct investigations anymore.
Don't nobody need to do no looking round. I done told y'all who did this. It was the Taurosaurus, so my name ain't Lotta Hart. Oh, wait. No, who did this? What did it? Yeah, that.
Are you quite finished? We have an investigation to be getting on with. Step aside, please.
You can't order me around no more, mister. You step out of my dang ways, more like it. Y'all mess with this here scoop of mine and there'll be heck to pay and then some. Excuse me.
The woman who found the body. Where do I know her from?
You're Mr. Edgeworth, right? You remember me?
Oh, yes, of course. We met on, that case.
No way, you two know each other?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we do. From somewhere.
Great to meet you, I'm Kay Faraday, Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. Oh, I never knew you had your own adorable little assistant. I'm Penny Nichols. I work over at Global Studios. I'm in charge of props. Nice to meet you.
Forgot her surname was fucking Nichols. Ah, of course. One of my old cases involved a murder on the set of a Steel Samurai movie. She was a member of the crew and provided some key evidence. Our paths must have crossed several times while it was all going on, and yet I'd completely forgotten her. It's good to see you again. So if you're here, I guess that means...
That's right. We're here on location filming for Global Studios. It's kind of a big feature, to tell you the truth. I was first in today, wanted to make an early start. But then I noticed something was wrong. The footprints and the body. Oh.
We'll take a closer look at the body in just a moment. In the meantime, can I ask you to notify the police?
Yes, of course, right away.
I'll need to speak to her at length a little later. But first, let's go over the scene. There's plenty to look at besides the body. I'll need to examine everything in detail. Alright. This thing in front of the trailer here looks like a monster costume.
What? That's a costume? You sure the creature that made those huge footprints didn't just shrink or something?
Perhaps I didn't make myself clear. This thing in front of the trailer here, it looks like a monster costume. A costume! Can't examine that. Oh, there's a broken lock on the floor. Miss Nichols, where does this exit lead?
Is that onto the grounds of the big building?
Yet another case with direct ties to that same building. The building with the hidden 51st floor used to store the lots for illicit auctions. I guess it wouldn't be much of a surprise if it turned out to be hiding yet more secrets. I wanted to look at the broken padlock on the ground, but... look at this chain and padlock. Oh, thank you.
Oh, look at that. Somebody cut the chain. They did? I'm sure it was still intact when I left yesterday.
I'd say it's possible that this is where the killer entered from. What's the matter now?
Look at that huge dent. How did that get there?
Huge dent? Oh, shit, no, you're right. You're right, that is a big dent. I've taken a sizable object to make it, and a heavy one too.
It wasn't like that yesterday either.
It wasn't? I guess that means the dent must have been made last night at some point. I wouldn't say that's a bump, that's something crashed into it. Why do you keep taking pictures of the same spot? With the flash on, at 10 AM.
What is it now? Can't you all see I'm busy? Girl needs room to work, you know.
Why are you so obsessed with the idea that this was a monster attack? Monsters don't exist. Surely even you know that.
What did you... You don't know what the heck you're talking about. Taurosaurus is real, dang it. I know that for a fact.
For a fact, And how is that possible exactly? Someone you follow is playing Free Ultimate? Oh wow, yeah, that's a callback. It's not exactly the most popular of the series by a long shot. But I hope they're having fun nonetheless.
Because I done seen him. What? You saw Taurosaurus? Where? How? Heck yeah, I seen him. The big bad bull himself. Right there in front of me.
Yeah, they're in chat right now. Hi, Huey.
I was up on 51 over there at the big building just yesterday, right?
What do you mean monsters don't exist? Next you'll be saying that the miracle never happened. Gathering materials for your story on the underground auction. Yes, we remember.
Well, ain't you just Mr. Memory Man? That's right. I done seen him right when I took that photo. Person in the red raincoat. Miss Ringer, right? Yep, you'll see that blind right there next to the little Miss Redcoat. Well, guess who was on the other side of it at that very moment? That's right, Taurosaurus.
Huey, are you secretly Taurosaurus? Like some kind of bull dinosaur kaiju in disguise? Did you kill the president?
There's nothing there. I can't rightly capture every dang thing. That's just a little too far away, that's all. But I seen it all right, boy, did I. Torosaurus's big ol' eyes staring right at me, peeking right in at the window.
A window-peeking monster?
Anyhow, I don't got time to be shooting the breeze with y'all. I got snaps to snap, reportage to report. Quit bugging me, will ya? Go on, get.
That entire story was ridiculous.
Didn't believe a word she said, did you, Mr. Edgeworth?
Is it that obvious? I guess investigate the body would be a key point. It really is him. It certainly appears to be. The same man we met only a few days ago.
This time, the president really did get assassinated.
The fan translation for Torosaurus was Moozilla. Oh dear. If that's what happened, the assassin certainly chose an attention-grabbing method. Anyone can afford a lawyer if they've got enough baby bells. Greb has many talents. I'm scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Well, firstly, this big old horn. And that's clearly too big to be the other horn of his toy.
What's this white thing here? Oh, wait, it's a bone. Does that mean 2 murders?
It looks more like a horn than a bone to me. Horns are made of keratin, not bone. I mean, unless it's a shark, then they're all keratin, I guess. The last time you got Greb as a lawyer, they told the judge you were guilty and ran from the court. I guess you didn't give them enough cheese. Or it just thought it would be funny to do that. No obvious wounds, but he's definitely not breathing.
Astra! Welcome, my goblin friend, to the stream.
How are you doing? Let's get a shout out for you. Ooh, Lethal Company.
What?
I have no idea what's going on here.
Where'd you go?
What do you mean? I was here.
You were not.
Alright. I hope you had a lovely stream, Astra. Thank you for choosing to raid me. It means a lot to me. Out of all the people on Twitch, you chose me. Yay. I feel happy. Right. For anyone new, I'm Iggy Maid. I'm a big Gay Lizard Maid streamer. I play a lot of story-heavy games. Though on the weekends, chaos is unleashed when my co-host Greb streams as well. And you get a taster for that with our raid trailer, in case you're new.
I'm a master of gun fu. Oh, you smell guilty.
Whoa!
Oh my god.
Ooh, funny rock. Touch it. Lick it. Put it in your mouth.
I love weenies.
Fire! Oh dear. Oh dear. I thought we said controlled burn. I may be very gay.
Yeah!
Woohoo!
Uh-oh. Yeah! Die!
See?
Ow! Deja vu! I've just been in this car before. Ah!
So you can't get me now. Right?
Whoa! No!
Hello.
Grab smash! Whoa! He knocked his whole body off! Consider yourself pregnated.
And welcome back. Oh gosh, Hecky. While that was playing, I remembered that I forgot to mention something I wanted to bring up. Is that Okay, so a lot of you know, some of you might not, but I've mentioned it a couple of times, but I'll just recap quickly, that I am looking to move home pretty much as soon as possible because I am technically homeless. As in, I am not a legal tenant for where I currently am, so I could be asked or made to leave at any point, which is incredibly stressful. But the worst part is I have the money to move. Landlords just reject me anyway. Isn't that great? Isn't that wonderful? But yeah, so saying, like, before people get on my case for like, oh, are you raising money for something? Because there's something I'm about to get to. Because it's like, I have money to move. That money's not being touched until I move. But I am also going to start raising money for a little project for the stream. A little expensive, but it could also be used in other outside stream things, as I'm looking at expanding my dimensions, so to speak. getting a new perspective in the Z-axis, which could be fun, but also expensive. So if you do want to support toward that, you know, tip link is about, and it would be vastly appreciated. So I was quoted, because I've been talking to people who do this kind of thing. I was quoted that the model and getting it ready to be like animated would be like $500. That's not even including the rigging. Like custom 3D models? That's expensive. That's real expensive. So it would be a massive treat for me. And I'm not saying this to push anyone to donate. I'm just saying this is something I'm thinking about saving up for, but it might take a couple of months. Assuming I get to move anytime bloody soon. Yeah, I mean, 3D modeling, like from scratch, is a very, very involved process. It takes a lot of skill and a lot of labor to put that together. And that's just to like sculpt a model. Never mind all rigging it all up for animation and tracking and stuff. But if I did get this, it could be used for more than just streaming. I could take it into VR chat or import it into other games as like model swap mods, that kind of thing. Not just pornography, Panda. Okay? I have good intentions. Don't you pull that face at me, Panda. Oh, the throwables are broken? Let me check. No, you're not. You lied to me. They're fine. Look at all these throwables. Damn! Okay. But, you know, there is also the possibility for it to be used in animations. And you can roll your imagination with that however you please. I mean, once the model's all there and ready to be animated, that's the hard bit done. Not to say animation is easy, but, you know. That's a huge chunk of the labor. I will absolutely regret this. What? What, becoming three-dimensional? An Iggy version of At Soup. That would be so funny, though. That would be so funny. Yeah, it'd be a player mod. I could make it a player model for so many games that support, like, model swapping. Like, if there's a game that has a model swap mod, I could, like... Because generally how I learn modding is stealing other people's work. Learning from other people's work. So, like, when I modded Skyrim to make it so Greb did all the dragon shouts, I had no idea where to start with that. Like, sure, I can record the shouts, but what do I do with those files? So I downloaded a mod that basically was a shout replacement mod, so I could see the file structure and the file type and how it was all organized and what made it work. So then I could work backwards from there, use that structure to make my own Greb mod. That's how I've done mods a lot of the time. Because different games usually have very different approaches to modding. So, yeah, reverse engineering existing mods has taught me so much about modding. Because you just download it and you just look through the files and you're like, oh, right, it's like that because of this. And that makes that work. Because I'm the kind of person who loves figuring out how things tick. The amount of how it's made and like technology channels I watch on YouTube, it's like, this is how this obscure piece of technology works. This funny light bulb with a magnet inside it that makes the filament go all woo. Yeah, I've been watching Technology Connections lately. I like those videos. Right, video game. No obvious wounds, but he's definitely not breathing. Had OBS selected, so my A button wasn't working.
So it really was a monster.
Trampled by a giant creature? Impossible.
And there's something stuck to the front of his clothes there.
Yeah, speckles of a yellow substance.
I bet it's monster drool. Yeah, that must be it.
Please, Kate, can you at least try to be sensible? We'll need forensics to tell us what it might be. Right, that looks to be pretty much everything the body can tell us for now. Can we make user was banned for this post art? Look, you can do whatever you want. Like, legitimately, if someone chooses to draw me or Greb, you know, it's up to you what you do. But depending on the content will determine whether or not I'm showing that off anywhere. Like, I can't stop people from drawing things I don't want, but I can at least put out my wishes that I wish Greb to forever remain safe for work. I don't want Greb to ever be looted. Now, I can't control that. But if it happens, I'm throwing it in the bin. I'm not sharing that. Thank you for putting time out to make something for me, but it's not... I want to make that as clear as possible. I don't want that. Because I don't want to sound ungrateful, see, like, oh, look what I made for you, and I'm just like, oh dear. Look, Greb commits mischief, is violent, a war criminal, but they are asexual and have no reproductive organs. Actually, it's hard to say what organs it does have, really. Cheese goes in, nothing comes out. But yeah, if it's me, Iggy, you go wild. Yeah, do what you want. I mean, if it's some weird kink stuff that I'm not into, then I'm probably not going to share it. But still, you know, you do you. I can't stop you physically. Not that I'm really ever lewd that much. Well,
Someone just tipped £23. I have
Thank
spare
you.
money this month, yippee.
Thank you very much. Anonymous £23. That is vastly appreciated. We are at 49% of our monthly goal. Hooray. The Spider-Man pointing meme? Yeah, I've still got that saved on my computer, Gurk. It was lovely. Right, that looks to be pretty much everything the body can tell us for now. I'd better note it all down. Okay. Is that anything, or is that just some different coloured rock?
The body's surrounded by pieces of smashed up concrete.
Yes, they look to have been thrown clear when the ground was broken.
Pew! Sent flying by the mighty impact of a giant creature's foot.
Sure, assuming this was the work of a giant creature. I mean, are we just going to ignore the fact that they're filming a movie here and it was probably just made for the movie?
Just look at the shape. I know a hoof when I see one. There's only one thing that can possibly be. The footprint of an enormous, terrifying beast.
We're on a movie set, Kay.
It's not just one, there are 3.
But you know that's impossible, don't you? You know that monsters aren't real?
I'm sure I probably know that somewhere deep down. But it's way more fun to believe they are.
Our job is to pursue the truth, Kay, not to believe what feels most fun in the moment.
Sorry, I got a little upset before.
You were working here alone.
That's right. I came before everybody else so I could get everything ready. But as soon as I walked through the gate, I saw the footprints. Monster prints first thing in the morning. Must have been a real shock. It was. They weren't there when I left yesterday evening. I'm sure of it.
So the footprints must have appeared late last night.
At first glance, I thought maybe they were part of the set. But then I got closer and saw that somebody was lying in the middle of one of them.
You didn't notice until you were right up close?
Iggy.
Yeah, my eyesight just seems to be getting worse and worse lately. I think I need new glasses.
Kay sees furries walking around town.
Mr. Edgeworth, I saw a horde of beasts. They're taking over the local convention center. I didn't notice it was a body until I was right by it, which is why I got so shocked and ran away.
Must be when we bumped into her. So you're shooting a movie. It wouldn't happen to be a Steel Samurai movie, would it?
Nope.
Oh. Shame.
This one's a creature feature. You know, the Taurosaurus movies, right?
I'm afraid not.
You'll have to forgive Mr. Edgeworth. He only cares about the Steel Samurai.
That's not...
Yeah, that's alright. Not everyone's a fan, but soon they will be.
Hey, it's Huey.
He's back after 12 years of silence. The big bad bull himself, Taurosaurus. It's the first Taurosaurus movie in a long time, so the crew's super excited about it. And parts of it are set here at the big building. We've been shooting on location.
That explains what we saw yesterday.
What's happening here? What's going on with the building? Just stay calm and talk to me, kid.
Cut. I'm so sorry. We're shooting a movie. Could you,
That must be what they were filming.
So does Taurosaurus smash the big building into pieces in the movie? I bet he does, right? Wouldn't you like to know? Well, you'll just have to wait and find out in the theatre. Yeah, you can have this if you like.
Taurosaurus versus Gordy. Gertie? The fricking Gourd Lake monster? Alright. Oh, thank you. An epic rivalry is born. Taurosaurus versus Gordy. Gordy?
That's right, not just Taurosaurus on his own this time round. He has an arch nemesis. You know Gordy, right? The monster from Gourd Lake? Oh yeah, wasn't everyone talking about that a couple years back? The mysterious creature in the lake showed up in that one couple's photo.
And not only were people talking about it, it played a major part in one of my cases. Not a name I'm too wild about hearing again.
The director's fascinated by the stories, which is how Gordy wound up in the movie.
A little behind the times, but better late than never, I suppose.
Just wait till you see how those two legends tearing into each other on the big screen.
Deary me. This reminds me of something I've seen already. I think we need to learn a little more about the security situation here on set. Miss Nichols, is the set kept locked overnight?
Yeah, we used one of these. Combination lock, huh? So anybody who knows the code can get in and out.
And was the lock in place when you arrived this morning?
Yep, everything was locked up tight when I got here.
Who knows the combination?
Oh, the producer, the director, the crew, the actors. Basically everybody who's working on the movie.
So any member of the cast or crew could have opened the lock and entered. Okay, do I have anything I can connect? That is 5 pieces. What if that's used on the front gate? They didn't come through the front gate, though. Because the side gate had its chain cut, so it would have been someone not related to the movie, otherwise they would have taken the path of least resistance. Unless it is someone who works on the movie, and they're trying to fake me out by thinking that it wasn't. I mean, it could be either. The combination lock on the gate leading to the plaza was intact when Miss Nichols arrived, but the lock on the gate leading out to the side of the big building had been cut. What does this tell us?
Easy, that the killer used the side gate.
Precisely. And it tells us something else important too. Namely that our culprit didn't know the number for the combination lock.
You're right. It would have been way easier to come in that way if they did. Instead, they chose the classic thief's route, a lesser-known side entrance. This is no run-of-the-mill criminal, Mr. Edgeworth. We need to keep our wits about us.
I'm not sure we should be excited by that fact, Kay. Anyways, we now know that everybody working on the movie knew the combination, which makes it likely that our culprit wasn't a member of the cast or crew. Not impossible, though. Alright. Do I have anything else I can connect? 3 footprints. Was he stomped on? I don't think he was stomped. Dented fence. I've not talked to Lang yet.
So, Mr. Prosecutor, we meet again.
Yes, we saw you at the detention center the other day, too. You have some business to take care of, I take it, Agent Lang?
You could say that. Nothing that need concern you, though.
Yeah.
You really have a habit of showing up in the wrong place at the wrong time. You're a bad penny, a bad omen, and a bad smell all rolled into one. Just stay out of my way, okay? I got a president to avenge.
You were already at the scene when we got here. Why? What were you doing in the area?
What am I, a suspect?
You might be.
Look, I heard a scream and came running, okay? Guess it was our friend from the crew. Came in from that gate over there.
Somebody
already got rid of the lock for me.
Not completely. I still see it on the floor. Perhaps I should take a closer look. Was I expected to talk to him first?
When I got here, I saw a movie girl running out of the other gate.
In other words, he arrived right around the same time we did. Has he had business here at the big building?
Something like that. A date with destiny, let's call it.
He was similarly enigmatic when we saw him at the detention center.
Oh, let me guess. You're a huge Creature Feature fan, so you came to see them film in the Taurosaurus movie. Creature Features? What do you think I am?
Not the type of person who thinks a creature might have done this, I hope. I'm sorry about the president. You have my deepest condolences.
Thanks. He was a great man. Jingfa will be lost without him.
You and he were close, correct?
It all started when he hired my father. That was our big break. Our family kept him safe. It was our most important duty, and our most sacred. He gave my father medal after medal. We had to come up with new ones just for him. In the end, there were no medals left to give, so he made us the keepers of his last will and testament. Those medals, that duty, they're our greatest pride, our family jewels. Penis. Never thought we'd be unsealing that will so soon. Wow, sounds like your family and the president was super close. Wait, when that whole thing happened back at the lake, you weren't with the president then, right? Look, a lot happened, okay? This was all 12 years ago or more. My father and the president being friends, our family being the ones who kept him safe. He just changed one day. It's like he became a different person. Now he doesn't trust the police one bit.
Yeah, that's gonna be related. I wonder what happened 12 years ago.
Regardless of what happened, I still respected him. Chengfa may not be a big country, but he held that place together. Damn it. What was his security detail thinking?
I imagine you've already contacted the embassy?
Of course I have. And the government. And my family. They'll be going crazy right now thinking about what needs to happen with that will. And things will be getting crazy here soon, too. Those bodyguards will be all over the place. If you're not a fan of trouble, I'd leave before they get here. Look, Mr. Prosecutor. These days, I'm a one-man outfit. A lone wolf. They won't be letting me lead this investigation. But I've still got fangs, and I can still bite back. I'll find whoever did this. And I won't let you, or anybody else, get in my way.
Okay. Can't get up these stairs. Okay. Can't get in there. Light. This looks like equipment used by the lighting department.
Oh, wait, I just remembered there was something I wanted to ask you. Could you maybe light me up when I'm doing my next robbery? Help me look super cool?
You want me to shine a light on you while you're committing a crime?
You bet I do. What's so weird about that? What's the point of me doing my great thieving in the dark? Folks in the cheap seats won't be able to see a thing.
Wait, you're imagining you'll be committing this robbery in front of an audience? Can't examine the step ladder. Can't examine the gate. Can examine this, though.
What's this big metal stick thing? Is it for climbing trees or something?
No, it's a camera crane, used for filming from an elevated viewpoint. There's no camera currently attached, but it would usually be positioned at the top there.
Gotcha. That sounds perfect for casing a place before a burglary. Mind if I go ask somebody about borrowing it?
How do you propose to transport it if the answer is yes?
Easy. You take the bottom part, I'll take the top.
So I'm helping now?
And if we go one little step at a time, we'll be back at your place before we know it.
And we're walking it back to my house? Is this anything?
Hey, these are those plastic sheets you can put down when you have a picnic.
The plastic sheets, that much is true, but I don't think that's what they're used for.
Want me to explain, Mr. Edgeworth? Those are waterproof sheets. We use them to protect the camera when it's up on the crane. If it starts raining while we're shooting, we can just cover up and keep going. I see. Oh, so they must be pretty big, right? Oh yeah, they have to be able to cover the whole rig. Wouldn't be much point using them otherwise. The weather was pretty patchy yesterday, so we wound up using them quite a bit.
That seems like important information. It wasn't added. Do I have anything I can present to you?
Orosaurus is kind of a symbol of nature. That's why he destroys the city.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
He can attack with his horns, but that's not the only trick up his sleeve. He can bellow out shockwaves, drown people in drool, squirt them with milk.
What kind of movie is this again?
He can suffocate them with barbecue smoke, make cute little items out of leather. Those don't sound like super tough attacks. They'll sure look good, and it's our job to make sure of that.
And I hope you succeed, for the sake of your entire industry.
He really does have hooves that split in two just like that.
Please don't tell me you think the president was trampled to death by Taurosaurus too.
No, I'm a member of the movie crew, remember? I don't believe he'd ever kill anybody. No creature inside a movie should ever harm anybody outside a movie. That's a golden rule of the creature feature community.
Luckily, it's also impossible. What am I missing then? I don't know if any of these are directly connected. Borosaurus free. That's examined, that's examined. I missed an object somewhere. I don't think I have. Means it's something I have to present, or something I've got to connect in my head, right?
Wait, that's...
You recognize it? Or the yellow stuff?
Oh, sorry, I must have been thinking of something else. I really do need new glasses. Such an idiot.
That's something to get so upset about. Oh no, that's your I don't know anything line. Cool.
What is it now? Can't you all see I'm busy? Girl needs room to work.
Why are you so obsessed with the idea this was a monster attack? Monsters don't exist. No, this is the same conversation. Oh, I've got to skip through the whole conversation now because it's the whole thing. Must have missed something. I can also deduce here. Is there anything in the evidence that this goes against? Do I deduce that it's Taurosaurus's horn? I'm about to lose health, aren't I? Oh, no. This could be one of Taurosaurus's horns, couldn't it?
You're right, totally could. Maybe it's part of a prop from the movie.
If it is, it must be from something pretty big, judging from the size.
What's it doing on the ground here?
No, we should ask one of the crew. Maybe they'll know. Okay, that probably gives me a new conversation point with you. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. This horn, do you recognize it?
Huh? Oh, that's part of one of Taurosaurus's horns. It's from a model we use for promotional stuff. Where did you find it?
On the ground near the side entrance.
That's weird. We keep a replica of Taurosaurus's head up on the roof of the trailer over there.
And it's quite large, I assume?
Oh yeah, well, not as big as the real thing, obviously, but it's still pretty big. It's just up there, see it?
Oh, now we get the camera to pan. And it is missing a piece of its horn.
Right there.
That really is big. Alright, broken horn found next to the body. Head's usually kept up on the roof of the trailer, and that's where... So something must have struck it. He could have fallen, yeah. Can I see the... I can't pan the camera up, can I? It's gotta be something here, because I'm at a dead end again now. But it gave me a new piece, so it's got to be this plus something. Something heavy bump into it. Did the head bump into it at any point? Because if... It must have been the whole head, because if the horn came off and fell down, There's no way something that small could have made a dent like that. I feel like the whole head was moved. Maybe the whole head is the murder weapon. Or I'm about to lose health. Both the dent in the fence and the broken horn weren't there yesterday, according to our witness. Which leads me to wonder.
Wait, you think that giant Taurosaurus head could have...
I do. I think it could well have rolled off of the trailer roof and landed in the lot below. It seems more than possible, and it also means that he wasn't stomped on, that a giant head fell on him. There's no sign of a murder weapon anywhere.
Oh yeah, there isn't.
Now, this is still only a possibility, but if the Taurosaurus head somehow fell from the roof up there...
Yeah, that could kill somebody for sure.
Miss Nichols, would you mind if we took a look up on the roof of the trailer?
Want to go up there? Sure, I don't see why not. Knock yourselves out. But don't do that literally, the steps can be kind of slippy.
I feel like I see marks on the stairs.
Alright, I'm done here. I found out what I need to know for now.
And what might that be, I wonder?
Hmm?
Child.
Move, old man. What do you say to me? You need to learn some manners, kid.
God, just chugging that milk. Bloody hell, don't get sick.
Nah, you need to learn when you're in the way. Quit whining and get out of here. What the? So sorry about him. Sean, apologize to the nice man. Duh. Come on, Sean, you know you can't speak to people like that. Whatever. Who the heck was he? A policeman, that's who. Why would you antagonize him like that? Thought there was going to be trouble for a second there.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody stand up to Agent Lang like that.
Oh, let me introduce you all. Everybody, this is Sean Fenn. He's the star of the movie we're making.
The star? This little boy?
Hey there, I'm Kay Faraday. Great to meet you. Sean, this is Miles Edgeworth. He's a prosecutor. A prosecutor? That's right, and a pretty famous one at that. If he's a prosecutor, where's his badge?
Yeah, he certainly doesn't pull any punches.
Oh, you might not want to get too close, Sean.
She's right, it's no sight for a child. But he's involved in all this nonetheless. I'll need to speak with him. I feel like I'm gonna have a bad time. It was Sean, wasn't it? Do you mind if I ask you some questions?
Are you really a prosecutor? You just look like an old guy to me.
I am. Old guy? Charmed, I'm sure.
Badge first, then we talk.
I don't have my badge right now.
Then how do you expect people to believe you're a prosecutor?
God.
Oh, he's not the friendliest, huh?
Reference to Sean Penn. Oh. Who played Harvey Milk in a film. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure I've heard the name Sean Penn before. Hang on, let me just do a quick Google. What do I know you from? full list of works. Oh god, since 1974. That's a lot of movies. Has he been in anything I've seen? I've not watched a lot of movies. Tell you that much. And I'm not recognizing any of these, unfortunately. But I know I've heard the name before. Oh wow, he was in the Angry Birds movie. I bet he's very proud of that one. But yeah, I don't think I know any of these. This is no sight a child should see.
Well, what's that supposed to mean? I've seen plenty of bodies before, pal. Got over 50 confirmed kills. Amateur.
Gosh, hecky. Yeah. So I'm still scrolling. I've unfortunately recognized nothing that he's been in. I mean, he was apparently in 2 episodes of Friends, but I've not seen Friends since I was like 10 years old, so...
Want me to try talking to him?
Why not? I doubt it can hurt. I never was good with children.
So you're an actor, right, Sean? Yeah. So what? That's amazing. You're so cool. It's not that big of a deal.
His approach seems to be having an effect.
So, those horns are yours?
Yeah, what about him?
Oh, those, the makeup department made them. The character he plays has a special psychic link with Taurosaurus. And the horns allow him to communicate with his giant friend. Isn't that right, Sean?
Oh, just shut up, will ya?
You don't need to know all that stuff. Oh, sorry.
Well, the power dynamic here seems pretty obvious.
Still, that's kind of amazing, huh? Lead character in a movie? Oh, wow, you're still in elementary school? That's crazy. Oh.
Glug, glug, glug.
Sean's actually 13. He just looks a little younger. What? But look at him. He's so little and cute. And the backpack, I just thought... Backpack's part of his costume. Playing a role, remember? Oh yeah, I guess he is, huh? But he's kinda small, you have to admit. We try not to talk about that too much in front of him. I said stop telling people stuff they don't need to know! I'm sorry.
It's all part of the role, except for the carton of milk, maybe.
The dead guy, that's the president, right? Yeah, you knew him?
A little. I met him once. I mean, I still had a backpack when I went to secondary school. Most kids did, right? I think. He's meeting presidents now.
Yeah, guy was a real piece of work. Yeah, you can't say that. It's not nice. What was so bad about him anyway?
Yeah, I mean, backpacks are just handy to have.
Don't want to talk about it? Fine, I guess. Yep, President Wang was working with us on the movie.
Working with you? How exactly?
He had a part, just a cameo, nothing big.
A Randoseru. Not heard of that before. You another Google. Oh, right.
Val,
I know what kind of bag
time
you
to have
mean.
some water.
Stop slouching.
I have definitely seen more than just kids using those, though. Is they're like kind of handy for carrying books. Also drink. Right.
We came to look around the set one time. That would have been when Sean met him.
Oh, I've got OBS selected again. There. Why put the president in your movie?
We heard he was a huge fan of the original Torosaurus. So the studio offered him a little role. They figured it would be good PR. The last thing I need is amateurs on my set. Told you before, Sean, you can't talk about people like that. And I told you to shut your mouth.
I guess he's none too thrilled about the idea of performing alongside non-professionals.
Oh, here. What's this? Oh, wait, from yesterday?
A photograph.
Yeah, I just got them printed. You can keep it if you want. Such a great picture. And you brought it specially for me? Oh, that's so kind. Thank you. No, I just happen to have a spare. That's all.
I hope you don't mind me asking, but can we take a look too?
Oh, sure, here.
Wow, look how much fun he's having. So it was taken yesterday. No footprints and certainly no body. No broken fence either. Let me have a closer look at that again. It's like the camera was up there, and they did say there was some inclement weather the other day. Plankton voice.
It is becoming
I can't do Plankton.
increasingly obvious.
No, I don't think I can do that at all.
I am small. I can deny it no longer. I am small.
Yeah, no, I can't imitate that voice to save my life. That's not going to happen. Actually, would you mind coming up there with us?
Oh, sure. After you.
Like there's burn marks around it and a broken table. So this is the mighty Torosaurus.
He looks different from before. Yeah, he's way cooler on the flyer. What's with the weird nose ring on this model? Oh, I forgot. You two aren't Torosaurus fans. This is the original Torosaurus design from 12 years back. Huh? So, what's the one on the flyer? That's the all-new Torosaurus. They gave him a makeover especially for the movie. Looks so much more contemporary now, don't you think? Makeover? He's totally different. This one's, it's just a cow. He is just a cow. Or at least he was originally based on a cow. He's a monstrosity. A monstrosity? Yeah, the cow, man's best friend, reimagined as a terrifying monster.
When is a cow ever described as man's best friend?
Well, it makes you think about our whole relationship with nature, right? That was the original concept. I think the concept might be a little lost on me.
Me too, I'm afraid. Right, scale with the scene, yada yada. Hello, Delta. I hope you are well. Welcome to the stream. Look, I got headbutt by a cow once, so I disagree.
The model was made for the promotional events, stuff like that. So people would remember the old Torosaurus and realize this was a reboot. Yeah, he does look different. People might not get it otherwise.
And just as we thought, his horn is broken.
So the model really is what killed the president?
I think it's a distinct possibility, but there's one thing I don't quite understand.
And what's that?
Stream doesn't load in Firefox? That's weird. Is that just my stream or Twitch in general? If it's Twitch in general, it could be dependent on what ad blockers you're using on Firefox. They can sometimes interfere with the Twitch player. Just me, that's even weirder. Yeah, I got no answer for that. Miss Nichols, the model looks very heavy. How do you move it around?
Oh, it comes apart. If you know the trick, it's not so hard. Well, I guess if you didn't, you might struggle to figure it out.
If you happen not to be a member of the Castor crew, for example...
Once it's in pieces,
Oh, no, that's me. Once it's in pieces, could one person move it?
Oh yeah, even I could. Maybe not very fast, but I could.
Okay. Could be moved by a Castor crew member, since they know how it comes apart. I'm sure I remember that face from somewhere.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth? I know this cow.
Funny, I was thinking the exact same thing. We know it from the President's plane, of course. And from the auction. So President Wang's plushie...
was a soft toy version of the original Taurosaurus.
Can this really be just a coincidence? Okay. About the table. When's Final Firefox with you block? I mean, my only suggestion really would be to like clear your cache, which does mean you have to log in and the stuff again, and check your extensions, disable them one by one to see if they fix anything either. But it's just general troubleshooting measures, really. I can't tell you what the problem is exactly. It's a wooden table, sadly collapsed. Parts of it are badly scorched.
That's weird. The head should be on that table. The legs are broken. Well, I guess Taurosaurus isn't going back on there now.
And the scorch marks look particularly bad where the legs snapped off. I think there might have been a fire up here.
Think that's what happened to the legs?
Yes, and when the fire had burned through the legs, the table would have collapsed and the head would have fallen down onto the ground below.
You're right! The fire caused the head to fall.
Indeed. And I also happen to have an idea about how the fire may have started. Those cans of paint thinner by the heater are pretty flammable. Not a great place to keep them.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry, I'll make sure somebody moves them. But the stove didn't get used yesterday. Not while I was here, anyway.
Which makes the question of what could have started the fire all the more interesting. Oh, clearing the cache did it? Wonderful. Alright, I think that just about wraps up our preliminary investigations.
So he was killed by...
Yes, by a falling Taurosaurus head. At least that seems the most likely explanation for now.
It came down right on top of him, huh?
Hmm?
Well, they took their time, but here they are. Police, bodyguards, the whole gang.
Mr. President!
It's a little late for that, don't you think?
Curses! Who did this?
Whoever it was made a big mistake. But I promise you this. They'll pay. I'm on their trail already.
What? What do you mean?
Our president may have been murdered, but that doesn't mean that extraterritoriality applies. The local police have jurisdiction. Luckily, I know the right people to talk to. And I just got myself seconded to the case. Lowly one-man outfit or not, I'll be working this one.
It sounds like you already have an idea of where you'd like to focus your inquiries.
Oh, more than that. I've already caught scent of my prey. Take a look at this. It's a printout from a security camera on the viewing platform at the top of the big building.
That's...
It's pointed at the elevator that leads onto the roof, so it records everybody who goes up there. And in this particular case, it recorded the president and his murderer, clear as day. What? What was Judge Gavelle doing there?
He's saying he suspects her of murder?
Mr. Edgeworth, I entrust my offering to the goddess to you, so that you may use it to call her final judgment unto Excelsius winner.
Murder goes against everything she believes in.
Yeah, it couldn't have been her, right?
Agent Lang, Perhaps you could explain your thinking on the matter a little further?
I heard a little rumor while I was over at the big building. It was about you, Edgeworth. You're not a prosecutor anymore, are you? Which means you don't have jurisdiction here. But you want to cross-examine me while I explain my thinking? Why would I agree to that? Curses. Hey, don't be like that. You were the one who was just talking about being a lonely one-man outfit. You know what? Maybe it should be you explaining your thinking to me. How come even though you're not a prosecutor, you're still sticking your nose into this case?
It's a valid question. Why am I still here? Perhaps I can clarify that with a question of my own, Agent Lang. Why are you so desperate to catch the person who murdered President Wang? Because above all else, you're an investigator, correct? I'm desperate to catch a certain somebody myself. A person who orchestrated a murder at the big building yesterday. A person who put Kay's freedom in jeopardy. Who put her in grave danger. That person is out there somewhere right now, lurking in the shadows, laughing. And until I uncover the truth and make that person pay, it doesn't matter if I'm a prosecutor anymore. I'll keep fighting. Find the truth, and don't give up until you do. That's a rule I live by.
Oh, you may have the luck of a smart guy, but you're a fool just like the rest of us.
A fool? How dare you? You know what? Good point. Why am I here? Who's up to leave early? I heard there's a rave starting soon. Edgeworth would definitely not be the type to ever go to a rave.
And that was just what I needed to hear. Fine, you're in. I lost my minions, and you've lost your fancy title. But it seems neither of us is prepared to give up on this investigation. Now, seeing as we're both so stubborn, how about we go head-to-head and thrash out the details?
I'd be honored.
But be warned, I won't be going easy on you. I have an assassin to catch. And not even you're gonna get in the way of that.
Of course, I would expect no less.
Let me show you the truth I tore from this case with my bare fangs. Okay. Alright, so this judge friend of yours met the president up on the roof. And then she pushed him, and he landed right here. This all happened the night before last. The people had all been cleared from the viewing platform, so it's just the two of them up there. And that pretty much sums it up. No doubt about it. She killed the president.
You think you pushed him from the top of the big building? They were there completely alone? No bodyguards? I feel like an autopsy report would very clearly reveal whether he was hit by a bullhead or fell from a 51-story building. I feel like there'd be a bit more of a splat if he fell from the big building. And there is no sign of any blood or any external wounds whatsoever. They were there completely alone? No bodyguards?
None. I checked. His security detail had no idea he even went up there. He must have gone in secret. Maybe it was a conversation they didn't want anybody to hear.
What kind of conversation? How were the two of them even connected?
Seems the president spoke to the owner of the building ahead of time. He had him set aside the viewing platform just for the two of them. And it was the president asking. I guess the guy wasn't about to refuse. The last person to see the president alive really could have been. Yep. Gavel. Gavel, did you say her name was? Her.
His argument certainly isn't completely without merit. But I noticed at least one glaring hole in his reasoning. That's where I'll need to focus my counterattack. Okay. Met the president on the roof. And then she pushed him, and that happened the night before last. Implying he's been here for 2 days? Yeah, why doesn't he show up in this photo that was taken yesterday of this exact spot then, buddy? Objection!
Objection!
Chi Long Lang, former star agent of Interpol. Now the mighty have fallen. What? Take a look at this picture. It's a behind-the-scenes shot of some of the cast and crew.
Look at those smiles. Well, maybe not Sean's, but you know what I mean.
And it was taken only yesterday. What? If Judge Cavell really did kill President Wang the night before last, the body would have been clearly visible in the background of this picture.
What?
Perhaps you should have taken a little more time to speak with those involved. After all, thorough witness interviews form the basis of any good investigation, as you should know.
Yeah, don't think I've ever seen you so happy, Mr. Edgeworth. You really do love backing your opponent into a corner, huh?
Ooh, woo.
Fine, you got me. I must say it's been a while. I almost missed it.
Perhaps if you tried to stay a little calmer while conducting your investigations in future.
Huh. Don't push your luck, Edgeworth. Lang Ji says, the righteous anger of a wolf lasts 100 years. I won't be calming down anytime soon, not until we've caught the president's killer.
I want the same thing. We all do. Nonetheless, the body appeared last night. You have to accept that now. And there's one other thing you'll need to accept. The president didn't die from a fall.
That's right. He was crushed by the falling head of a giant monster.
The incident occurred here on the movie set, not at the top of the big building.
It says you, but that's just your theory. I'm not about to give up my own because of it.
But it literally can't have happened the night before last. We just proved that with this picture.
Did you? What if your friend Cavell pushed the president off of the big building the night before last, and came down here to the movie set and hid the body somewhere?
Here? But where?
There's all kinds of stuff down here. Costumes, equipment, you could hide it anywhere. And then come back a day later, last night in other words, and take it out again.
Why? If you hide a body, why would you then unhide the body?
We just need to check the lot for trace evidence. We'll soon find where she put it.
Objection!
There won't be any need for that.
What?
This piece of evidence proves that Judge Cavell can't have hidden the body. Well, she wouldn't have known the combination, and the other lock was only cut last night, not the day before.
Take that!
Both entrances to this lot were locked, and we already know that the chain on the side of the gate was cut only last night. Judge Cavell had no way of getting in here to hide the body the night before last.
But the murder has to have happened 2 nights ago.
Why are you so set on believing that?
Because, if you remember, that picture was a printout from a video, and there was more.
Okay.
There's footage from a few dozen minutes after your friend went up on the roof with the president. It shows her heading back into the elevator, alone. You know what there's no footage of? The president himself leaving that roof.
Did he go to the storage room?
There's no other way he could have gotten down from the top of a building that high. Unless he was pushed by Cavell.
You say the president was never observed returning from the viewing platform?
Yeah, the camera was pointed at the elevator door the whole time. If anybody else had come up or down, it would have been on that tape. In other words, the presence of the camera ensured that nobody could have left unnoticed.
I see. That's not good news for Judge Gavelle. Except we totally know there's a second way to leave.
Vanishing from a rooftop hundreds of feet in the air? Yeah, it's a tricky one, alright. Hey, you did it.
Indeed. Even the Yatagarasu can't actually fly.
Well, not yet anyhow. We just need a little more practice.
Please don't tell me you think you can learn. Alright. Footage from when they went up, and it shows her heading back alone. No footage of him leaving. There's no other way he... You know, now I've got proof that there is another way. Can I just present the tower itself? There is an entrance to the hidden 51st floor on the roof. There you go. Objection!
Objection!
I never get tired of yelling objection. Actually, there was another way. And hopefully all the new filters on the microphone and the limiters and such make it so it doesn't sound too ear-poppingly loud when I yell. Because it should be bringing down my loud noises. Edgy the hedgy. I know Gavelle couldn't have killed anyone. How? She's had to deal with Eustace Winner and that annoying baton of his for years, and he's still alive. Clearly she's incapable of murder.
Oh, by Jove, you're right.
Actually, there was another way.
Apart from the elevator? What do you mean? You're not about to tell me he flew.
He didn't need to. It was much simpler than that. Assuming the president knew what we know, of course. Namely, that the big building has a hidden 51st floor.
What?
That's right. A hidden floor. With a hidden entrance on the rooftop. If he left that way, he wouldn't have needed to ride the elevator.
What? But you said it was hidden, right? That it was a secret. How would the president even know about it?
It's an interesting question, and one I don't have an answer to just yet. For now, it is just a theory.
So what are we talking about exactly? What is this hidden floor of yours? It sounds like the kind of place your little ninja friend would happily spend time in. No, I hate it there. Don't make me go back.
Unfortunately, Kay's memories of it are far from happy. There's a secret storeroom up there where they kept the lots for an underground auction. Girk was immediately banned for this post. The whole sordid scheme was uncovered just yesterday. That's mostly just because Matt Pat's a cock.
An underground auction? What the heck are you trying to say? That President Wang was involved somehow?
I don't have any proof, but I certainly think it's a possibility.
Yeah, based on what we've seen of him, he totally seems the type. Woo!
Lang, did you really just awoo at me?
A test of your reflexes.
He'd never do that. Not the president. Illegal underground auctions? Nah, he'd have nothing to do with it. Nothing.
What's gotten into him? He's gone full fairy.
Hope you two are feeling lucky. Because when people start saying stuff like that, I start biting.
Melody,
You better not
please.
mean that literally.
Just have a sip of water.
Thank you.
Stop slouching.
Not harming anyone, he's threatening to bite me.
Eek.
You ran away.
You know nothing. Neither of you. You have no idea how much the people love him. How well respected he is.
Is that really true? I guess we know what lurks behind that seemingly respectable public face. But the people of Zhengfa clearly don't. I wonder if I should tell him the truth about his beloved president. No, what good would it do? It would only upset him more. Forgive me, Agent Lang, I didn't mean to upset you. We spoke out of turn, both of us. I can only apologize.
Apology accepted. And reciprocated. I'm sorry I got carried away.
It's all right, Kay, you can come out now.
Sorry.
It's fine.
It's not you I'm upset with. It's the animal who killed the president.
Well, ain't you just a fine figure of a man? All patriotic and such, gotta tip your hat to that sort of thing.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Well, I got good news for you, Mr. Patriot. Real good news.
What?
Ain't no way in heck your pal the president moseyed on downstairs via 51.
Really?
I was hunkered down in that there storeroom the whole dang time. I was peeled like oranges.
Of course, he would have already snuck in by that point. Oh, so he didn't. That complicates things.
Thanks. That's very useful to know. Well, well, Mr. Prosecutor.
What?
Guess my theory still stands, which means I'm not budging an inch.
Excuse me.
Nobody saw the president after he met with Gavel 2 nights ago. That's a fact.
It's also a fact that the body appeared only last night. How could the president have fallen from the roof 2 nights ago and only been found today? That seems a little slow as falls go, wouldn't you say?
Sure, there are questions that still need answering, I'll give you that.
Then I guess there's one thing we can both agree on.
Oh yeah? What's that?
The question of exactly what happened here yesterday will require further investigation.
I guess we all know for sure that... All we know for sure is that the body and the footprints appeared during the night.
Oh, Agent Lang, we'd like to hand the body off to the coroner, if you don't mind.
Fine. He's all yours. Just take care of him, okay?
I know I make all the police cockney, but...
Oh, one last thing.
What?
We found footprints near the body. I mean, footprints in the footprint, if you will. Little ones in the big one.
Human footprints in the monster print. Interesting.
And what kind of prints?
Sir, they were child's footprints, about the size of your average elementary school kid.
What?
Huh? Elementary school? No, it couldn't be.
Oh, what now? Miss Nichols?
Oh, I didn't mean to butt in, sorry.
Was there something you wanted to say? What's she so scared of?
There's something I have to tell you. You'll probably think it was pretty awful of me, but...
I'm sure it's nothing you need to be quite so nervous about. Well, what is it?
Last night, I came... Here.
What?
Yeah.
You mean you came back to the set? Why?
I was a little slow on it, but I couldn't resist. Ah! Well, I just wanted to... I was worried about him, so I came back to check. Check on Sean, I mean.
Sean? The boy? Makes sense.
Yes, you see, he stayed behind on his own last night to rehearse. Wow, he really takes the job seriously, huh? Well, this movie is his first lead role. He's trying so hard to make it perfect.
So she might have seen what happened last night. Around what time was this?
Let's see. It was already after 10, I think. It looked like it might be about to rain, so I got a little worried and came down. When I got here, well...
You saw something, didn't you?
Yes. Sean was there on his own, running his lines. And towering above him there was this long, like, really, really long... neck. Neck? Yes, with skin like an enormous worm. It was like a dinosaur.
What?
Ooh, hey! You mean, it must be. Gordy, good old Gordy. You done give me the slip last time, you slimy old lizard, but I got you now. What? Now Gordy's involved too? Yeah, I think he might be. I was as surprised as you are. Although, I guess Sean was practicing being a kid who can communicate with monsters. Hot dang, you're right. He could have been communicating for real with them little horn doohickeys of his. Right, but it seemed more like he was kind of looking up and talking right to him.
Alright, well, I already know what this is. That's clearly one of the cameras on one of the cranes with a sheet wrapped around it. Seriously, like, what else could it be? I can't believe it. Now Lotta's gonna come too. I'm not pressing the button again. Ow.
It was like they were friends. Pretty weird, right? They ain't tootin', it's weird. Weirder than a mustache on a mule. How could he cheat on his best monster pal like that?
I fear movies and reality might be getting a little mixed up here.
And you're absolutely certain that's what you saw? Oh yes, but only for a moment. I was so shocked I just turned and ran.
Well, how about that, Mr. Prosecutor? Another mysterious beast to contend with. Oh, don't tell me you believe this nonsense, Agent Lang.
The monster angle's neither here nor there. But I think we have a pretty good idea now who we need to speak to next.
Young Mr. Fenn. If he really was here last night, then there's a good chance he saw something.
My thoughts exactly. The prosecution calls Sean Fenn to the stand. Sean ran off just a moment ago. What? Oh, we need to get after him.
Back at the big building.
Where the heck did he go?
Maybe he just went home?
You're right. They won't be doing any filming today after all.
Sure. Or maybe he went on the lam.
Nah, he's just overthinking things, surely.
He's a child, Agent Lang. There's no way he killed the president. Not on his own.
Who said he was on his own, huh? Maybe a monster gave him a hand. Maybe he summoned one of his creature feature pals to help him.
Yes, very funny.
I'm not saying the kid did it. Not for sure anyway, not yet. But he's our most important witness right now, and we need to find him.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Hey, it's Gummy.
Aw.
He ran away.
What was that about?
Oh, you can guess.
Sure, I don't mind guesses or theorizing, as long as you don't actually know what happened, for obvious reasons. I mean, if you know what happened, you're not really guessing at that point, are you?
Well, this goes to show that your police force can't be trusted.
Are you saying you intend to continue investigating the president's murder alone?
Yeah, so what? Well, last time we met you had about 800 other agents helping you. Sure, but I told you I'm a lone wolf now. You got a problem with that? I don't need lackeys and I don't need friends. All I need are these fangs right here. Keep things nice and simple.
No lackeys, no friends.
Anyway, catch you both around. Things just got interesting. It sounds like I got my work cut out for me. 2 big beasties on the prowl. Hoo-wee! It's raining scoops. If I don't catch at least one, I ain't no shutterbug worthy of the name. Wow, this all got kind of complicated, huh?
It did. The Taurosaurus footprints were bad enough. Now Gordy? This might as well be a movie.
Well then we better get our monster hunting shoes on.
I suppose we had. streamed Monster Hunter in so long. Who's that? Who is that?
One of Agent Lang's old team.
Well, we've come across a few of them on previous cases, but this one's on his own. Excuse me.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. Long time no see.
How come you're not with Agent Lang?
Chifu? He's, not technically my boss anymore. Really? What happened?
You remember that case from a month or so back?
Play Monhunt on stream before too long. If people want to watch it, then yeah. Because I would like to. Like, nobody plays Gen Ultimate, and it's still my favourite. But, I mean, there's also Wilds coming out. I could stream Wilds while that's hot and fresh. I do want to stream more indie games, though. Definitely. Oh no, okay, I'm never allowed to play Monster Hunter ever again.
Yadagarasu case. How could we forget? He made kind of a big mistake there. Came about as close to aiding and abetting a serious criminal as you can come and still keep your job.
Indeed. I guess that was pretty close.
Stop slouching.
Maybe. Parries have to be decisive. Yeah, like that. Play Monster Hunter. I can't just switch to Monster Hunter right now, though. I can't betray my own schedule. Like, as much as I want to do, like, polls and stuff, I can't trust polls. Because not everyone participates. And if I just put a Monster Hunter game, yes, no, maybe, could you repeat the question? Gosh, Hecky. Indeed, I guess that was pretty close.
Well, being Shifu, he took full responsibility, so they disbanded our team.
Ah, that's harsh.
It was more of They Might Be Giants. I never really watched Malcolm in the Middle. I feel I've seen bits, but I don't feel like I've ever seen like full episodes. I am a fan of They Might Be Giants, though. It explains why he's now a lone wolf, as he puts it. I still sometimes get Birdhouse stuck in my head. The Birdhouse of Cole. I know it's like one of their biggest hits, and it's like, oh, you only know the hits, and it's like, yeah, no, you're right. I still like it, though.
The birdhouse in your soul. So, what are you doing here?
Well, to tell you the truth, I was worried about him. I think he's been chasing ghosts. Ghosts from 12 years ago, to be precise.
Gurk, I'm not even a big enough fan to have a favourite album. I just like some of the songs I've heard on YouTube. I don't even know what the albums are called. So yeah, call me a fake fan all you like, I don't care. I listen to the music I like, and they have some of the music that I like.
Ghosts from 12 years ago, to be precise.
12 years ago? What does that mean? Do I ever say something? Oh, yeah.
We better get our monster hunting shoes on.
Yes. Miss Hart did describe a worm-looking dinosaur earlier.
No, I'm not hunting a fucking devil, Joe. I am not ending up like the handler and becoming a meal for a pickle.
No, if anything, I'm calling myself a fake fan, Gurk, because I don't have answers to the questions.
Sorry, I already said too much. I better be on my way.
These ghosts of Agent Lang's. They have something to do with the case we're currently investigating.
Well, looks like everybody left except us. What do we do now?
Good question. Miss Hart went off monster hunting, and I guess Agent Lang is busy trying to track down young Sean. Perhaps we should try investigating another angle.
What kind of other angle?
Somebody needs to get Judge Gavel's side of the story.
Oh yeah, you're right. What did she say again? Please forgive me, but I'd better be on my way. I am to preside over the trial of Fifi Lagarde in a bit. I guess the trial will be beginning right about now.
Indeed. I think we better head down to the courthouse, don't you?
All right, let's go.
Lola can co-op with me and Monster Hunter. Gosh, hecky. Oh, okay. I think we're actually going to wrap up a little earlier today, since that was a nice chapter end. The next chapter could be like 5 hours long for all I know. Or it could be 20 minutes. Who knows? Not me. I never lost control. More music references. But I would go a little further, but I am so dang hungry. I need to figure out what I'm doing for food. And we did get a donation in, so maybe I can get some food in. So that would be nice. So thank you again for that anonymous donation earlier today. I do vastly appreciate it. I'm really trying to avoid digging into my moving fund. Pizza? There isn't a pizza in. I mean, I could use that tip to get pizza, but Alice will probably be home soon, so I probably want to go over it with her. Anyway, that's going to be the end of the stream. So I hope you've had a good time. I hope the new audio setup has been pleasing to your ear holes, if those of you who came in after I explained it even noticed any difference. And that's going to be the end of the VOD as well, so sorry for starting the VOD a little late. That's my bad. I'll try not to make a habit of that. But thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, all the links to keep up to date with the stream are in the description below. Feel free to like and sub and all that bollocks. Thank you very much.